Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Lyanca Reyna.
and this is the Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And we are hosting the Crazy Rich Free Summit this season and for season 5, which we want to bring in as just a vibe.
It's so exciting, right? You had a couple words about what it means to be crazy. You had
Yeah,
heard this from another speaker,
I
and she
did.
said what she defined as crazy as an
Yeah,
opposition to maybe
yeah.
sanity. So go
Right.
ahead, talk a little bit about that.
Right. So back in the day when people were crazy and put in insane asylums, basically it meant to break your mind. So
Oh, okay, okay, I'm
I
picking
heard
up.
it right before the show, and I was like, gosh, that is what we do, but we kind of break their belief systems and set instead. And I guess I just was like, wow, now that vibe even makes more sense
Yep.
from a standpoint of creating change in the world.
Yes. And when you think about that as terms of crazy, we're learning all of this new stuff about rewiring the brain and
Mhm.
creating new neural pathways. And so when you use crazy as a form to create new neural pathways, well, sign me up. I'm crazy, rich, and free.
I know. Screw the rest of you. And yet it seems that we're only crazy rich and free when we are truly playing with all of consciousness and contributing and following our designed desires, so to speak. So that is what this summit is all about, really truly designed for you to follow your heart's desires, your purpose from within, and follow those nuggets of inspired action throughout your day.
Absolutely. Well, let's get
Yeah,
started.
absolutely. We're going to start with Lisa Barnett. We've got 3 calls today. We meet every hour and a half, and we will just hopefully inspire you. I want to remind you, if you are in the chat and on the Zoom here, please say hello, where you're calling from, what you really want to get out of this week. We love emojis, and you'll notice that we have sort of a little play that happens where people actually do say hello to each other in the chat.
It's really
So
exciting.
please make friends and really welcome to the community if you're new
Yeah,
here.
speaking of community, I want to take a quick second. Let's just drop in, take a deep
Mhm.
breath. Oh, God, universe, guides, please allow us to have Crazy Rich Free, this summit, all the speakers, reach those who are meant to be reached, just permeate this world with so much love and be able to be that catalyst, that momentum as we start this new year, and for bringing in the things that we most desire to have, the change we want most desire to see in this world. And God, just please, please, please know that we love you so much. And we are so, so grateful for all of the blessings that you have for us in this summit and beyond.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
All
righty.
right.
Let's go.
Just a couple other things. If you are on YouTube and you would love if you would like and subscribe and just type in the chat there as well. We will be monitoring that. It's not as easy as Zoom, but we will still be there. So please don't feel like you're just kind of absent because you're on the Zoom feed.
I mean, if you see me on my phone, that's what I'm doing. Hanging out with the people in the Zoom, so awesome.
Right. All right. We are adding you up, Lisa.
A couple words about Lisa. Lisa says her sole purpose is to, in this incarnation, is to help people restore humanity's access to the Akashic Records, the library containing the soul's history and plan. She said 1,000 years ago, the Akashic field was pulled out of reach of the planet Earth because humans had missed its wisdom and power for personal gain. And the most important advanced light workers and mystics could only access it. Man, right? And isn't it
Mhm.
exciting that we get to do this at this time? 30 years ago, the age of Aquarius dawned and light workers were beginning to awaken. The Akashic Record keepers contacted her and asked her to help anchor a new energy of the Akashic field back into Earth. And this is that time. Exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. It's so there's so much more here, but we'll talk a little bit about it
Yeah,
too. Because Lisa, man, she is truly a trailblazer, and she goes back with us very, very many years ago. Jeneth had been working with her since about what 2000?
2011.
Yeah, yeah. So this is quite the journey, and it's so exciting to be able to bring her full circle around while we do Crazy Rich and Free in this summit. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. I am always excited to join you both. And
Yay.
it's been fun. I know, like
Yeah.
how far back. And of course, I've been just having crazy flashbacks as we're, moving into this new year and all of this new energy. I feel like I've been waiting for about 50 years or so.
To really feel alive.
Moment, I'm like, yay, please, yay. So
Let's go. Yes. Well,
it's time.
It is time.
Let's talk about the age of Aquarius. Can you define that as just to kind of start the group and what that means and what it means as we reach this ascension as well?
Well, as a traveling planet, right, and all of these, planets and alignments are constantly changing, but there are 26,000 year yugas. Within each yuga, there is another, I don't know, half a dozen or a dozen smaller, like the Kali Yuga. They have their specific names, and they last for thousands of years. Anyway, so this has been a very long process getting us to this point, but we've moved from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And what has been seen, predicted energetically because of the galactic alignments, that we have now moved into a new golden age. And I think one of the things that is really valuable to realize is that literally the dawning of the age of Aquarius started back in the 60s. And nothing happens in a minute, right? And it's the same thing even with this new 2026 year, even though higher alignments, more light, those who are really more awake, more conscious, more on a spiritual path, I believe we'll see amazing things happening in our lives, but a lot of the world will not. A lot of the world will still be living in the pain and the trauma as we are raising the vibration of the earth herself, right? Gaia herself is a sentient being. She's awakening. She will bring us with her no matter what we want to do, right? All of the light coming from, the sun. It's a confluence of many, many things, but this yuga, this next 800 years is supposed to be a golden age. And so again, it's for us to awaken. It's for us to raise our energies. It's for us to become much more conscious, so that we can be truly the light workers we are, and to help all of humanity awaken. So I'm always excited to talk about it, to see everybody show up, to do this work, and to really realize, because you've known me for a long time, especially Jeneth, when I first started talking about the Akashic Records back in the earlier, 2000, most people had no idea what that even was.
No. And we always thought somebody else had to do it to us. We never even thought we could do it for ourselves.
Right.
Right. And so, for me, it's phenomenal 25 years later to be like, yay.
Yeah.
When they asked me like 30 years ago to help re-anchor the Akash back to the planet, I thought, y'all are crazy. No one knows what this is. How am I supposed to do that? And they just kept saying, write these books, teach these classes, do these readings, just keep walking. Right.
Yep.
And 30 years later, I feel like, wow.
And you really have been the trailblazer and really a big leader for this. I remember hearing you speak a long time ago, back when I was working with Jeneth. And so hearing you as a first time speaker for myself, I was like, I mean, first I was like, what is she talking about? And then I was like, what is she talking about? Right.
Right.
And it was amazing. But innately, there was something so true and real about it. And I think that's what's really been calling people in. Would you say what has truly been the attraction that you see that as you've trailblazed this, the Akashic?
So to me, the great, great gift of the Akashic Records is that not only is it part of source energy, so it is a pure vibration of love and is here to hold us, right? And to really help and support us and educate us in who we are as these really infinite souls. And so what I found over all of these years is that there's so much information in your own Akashic records, as well as some of the collective Akash. There's galactic Akash. This information helps us with our everyday life. It helps us to answer some of the little daily questions we have, which might even be about a relationship that you've had for a while and you wonder if it's still valid, right? We write soul contracts with people, and most of them do not last a lifetime. And so we can actually go into the Akashic Records and say, do I have a contract with this person?
Mm-hmm.
Is it still valid? Is it
Mm.
over? What can I know? What was this contract about? Is it support or karmic? Did I come to help this person and they came to help and support me? Or am I here to learn and grow? And once I've learned and grown around that, I get to go. Right? We get to end that because the lesson is learned and we can move on. So everything from relationships, right, to our purposes, the gifts and talents we wanted to bring back to earth, who we've been, where we've lived. So much of that is fascinating, and I think can be really helpful to realize how, again, ancient and infinite we are, and where some of our challenges are stemming from.
Right. Because if you were in a contract, for example, and I was just getting the idea coming into my head talking about how freeing this would be, because if you are in a contract with someone, say it's maybe a marriage, right? And it wasn't meant to be a contract forever or forever in this lifetime, but you still are very much struggling with uh, dogma and some of the things that say that we cannot get divorced or cannot end that type of contract, well, then there tends to be a lot of guilt around that or a lot of confusion about that. I say guilt because a lot of times people will make themselves feel bad for not understanding why something is coming to a closure. When we can access something like the Akashic Records and know that we're receiving real answers that are meant for this soul, this lifetime, what do you find that people are receiving from that? Like for me, I see how that could be very freeing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's interesting, and it's interesting to me when I do readings and it comes through just very clearly, like that contract's been over for 10 years and the
Yes.
person is like,
And they know
I
it, right?
know. I
Yeah.
know, but I felt bad and I thought
Yes.
maybe,
Yes.
and I'm afraid to create, bad karma or, so we get wrapped up in a lot of different levels of fear and concerns and worries about all these things. And so when they realize like, you know, it was about learning this, ending that, and moving forward with the information that you now understand, that you've now received, that there's other people, maybe you're going to help with that information, or you will choose a very possibly different path. I've seen so many light workers who have been afraid to step into their light because their partners were non-believers, right? And
Yes.
they let that hold them back.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so,
And that could be anybody. I mean, it could be your next, door neighbor that, doesn't even want to talk to you because they're afraid you're going to read their mind, kind of thing. I've got to bring the humor occasionally. Of course. Lisa, the word that's been playing in my frequency is this word avatar embodiment, and really playing this world today more as a game.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, what does that bring
First
up?
of all, it brings up.
What does
right?
That, it reads, right?
Well, I mean, to me, that's truth.
I love doing it for okay. I'll let you go.
Well, I just feel like that's the truth. The truth is that we said, I want to go back and play this game again. I want to finish some of the old stories. I want to help some of my soul family members. I want to create something new and cool. I want to more fully embody, as there's actually more light on the planet now than has been on the planet for thousands of years. I want to more fully embody some of my gifts and talents that I couldn't even access before, right? So the interesting thing is, for a lot of us, we've come back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, trying to bring more light, trying to embody more light. And we've often been thwarted, right? We were killed for being witches, right? We were thrown in dungeons for being heretics. We, struggled to bring higher wisdom and more light to the earth. And so I think I really believe that all of the light workers who have been part of building this game, so kind of one step further, Jeneth, is that not only are we here playing a game, we created the damn thing, right? We created.
Yes, we did.
And I think that's really what we want to bring to light in this summit called Crazy Rich Free. And really, I like putting those words all together because it brings up something, and it could charge people and it could resist people, but it is a frequency, just putting those three words together. And I love kind of just bringing up kind of this tightness or this yes in others, right? And I feel like the Akashic Records could find all of that, charginess just by saying three little words in a way.
Absolutely. I mean, I so love that because the truth is that most of us have had so many lives where we've been considered crazy, right? And we may have been locked in asylums or way worse, right? Got ourselves killed.
I know it was me.
And we avoided it and didn't embrace who we actually were, and instead called us crazy, which meant wrong.
Yeah.
And then we went down this whole stupid unworthiness track. And now we're here needing help from Lisa Barnett to clear out our karmic Akash because we screwed ourselves by calling ourselves crazy in a life before.
Or
earlier
worse,
this one.
have been persecuted, right? Have been burned at the stake and have really been, there's some really bad things that have happened in lifetimes that really unconsciously keep us from wanting to open up our own intuition, our own gifts, really looking into some of this stuff and then we don't even know it exists. I know that I've had times where I've been persecuted and have been, was really, really claustrophobic. And it turns out that I had some type of persecution before because I was a witch, for better words, right? Like I was the knower.
Knew that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Which totally brings to mind that I believe they actually called it the Iron Maiden. It's a big metal.
Yeah.
Physical shape thing, and they crushed you in there with spikes.
Oh. Yeah. But that was a thing.
Yep.
It was a thing. It
Golly.
was so a thing. I once went to a museum exhibit where they had all of the implements of torture from the Middle Ages, and it was so scary and so mind-blowing. So
I bet
mind-blowing.
when
Yeah.
you think about those things and when we remember that we've had many, many, many lifetimes, and then we wonder why we are really struggling with something that we cannot understand, and it's kind of bleeding through from times of like torture. I mean, it's no wonder that we have some of this stuff that floats around and our DNA remembers. I mean, it's very, it's
Yeah,
very
if it's all
jarring.
frequency, it makes total sense.
Right. Right.
And if it's a timeline collapse, it all makes sense.
Right. And the free part, I think, is, crazy, rich, free. The truth is that we humans have honestly not been free in this, I'm going to call it, round of humanity since about 11,000 BC, when we first really came back and repopulated the planet after the Ice Age and the floods. We have not been free. And again, these are pieces, these are programs that have been written into this game, this matrix, this story that we're calling this 3D earthly life.
Yes.
We took this planet, right, this big rock, and said, okay, let's move it down from the 14th dimension slowly down to the third dimension over, I don't know, billions of years, who knows, no time, space, whatever that means. But literally, the Earth has had very many different iterations: Terra, Tara, Tiamat, Earth, Gaia, right? Those are some of the names I'm familiar with, until we've come here. But part of this has been very much about some of the biggest patterns are the enslavement patterns, and so we literally have not been truly free. And I believe we are finally at a point in history where we have unwritten enough of the programs, that we have unraveled enough, of these threads that have held us down, unchained ourselves and people, humanity, enough that we will break free. And again, some of us are breaking free right now, today, yesterday, this year. And some people it might take them a couple more years. But it's important. That to me is the huge, powerful word that I feel and I love the Crazy Rich Free, because of course there's a whole part of us that, if we truly spoke and did and acted out in some of our multidimensional ways, people would think we were crazy, right?
Yeah, I was wondering if that's how you were going to complete that sentence. I was like, yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. That's why I brought it up right at the beginning, because we've got to embrace our crazy now, because that is innately us. We just had to conform.
And I really believe that now is time to break free and stop conforming. And the richness is so important in all ways, right? Because often when we are able to open and truly accept the abundance of the universe, let's just talk universe. The universe is here trying to bring you abundance. And we're like, no, not me, not little old me. I'm not worthy, right?
Right?
So when we get over that,
right,
and
that's exactly
really truly open to this expansiveness of the gifts of the universe, the infinite gifts, right? And we're bringing all of this together, and all of that will also help to create the freedom and to open us to creating the earth that we have come to create this new earth that we will be building over the next, probably a long time. It may be 50 years, it may be more than 100, but I just, nothing is ever done. It's all a process always. And so, we're in finally that moment, like I say, that 60 years ago, and seriously, more than that, 65 years ago, I woke up and I realized I was trapped in a body.
Yeah.
And I thought, no way, what am I doing here? Right.
Yes.
And
Well, I
so
think that's some of the healer's journey is that they've done so much to try to get out of this body. They've needed to heal because they've been numbing, they've been abusing their body, and in some way they've been tried to, accidentally kill themselves kind of moment.
I would say that that's even part of the hero's journey, right?
Yeah.
Like the human journey that a lot of people have done. But the empathic part sometimes of some healers would then, well, I'm just going to speak for myself. When I realized I was in this body, and then it was all of these things coming at me, the different trauma, whatnot, it became very easy to want to numb out, to escape my body. And what I'm learning is that there's a very real reason why I have a body. And I'm excited about it now, right? Like I'm excited to be embodied with this beautiful new knowledge and experience, but it's taken me a long time to get here. How can we use the Akashic to collapse that, to enhance our experience?
So to me, the records really give us so many answers, right? So if I ask my Akashic record keepers, and of course, after all these years, I've probably asked them almost every question you could imagine, right?
Okay.
Again and again and again about different things. But that, why do I hate being in a body? And then they'll give me 3 to 5, 10 lifetimes where I've been killed for being me, for trying to hold more light, from trying to be that philosopher or that healer or that whatever. And so when we realize that, and especially when we can clear the physical pain, the emotional pain, all of that trauma, that literally just collapses that into I understand that old story. I don't have to feel it. I don't have to fear it. I'm not going to experience that again. So to me, just the realization really collapses a lot of that old energy and moves us out of that story. So we are no longer afraid to be seen. We're no longer hiding. We're stepping out there finally, right? So the records have the answers for us that help us understand. And to me, because we are in human bodies and we do have this whole mental aspect, but again, the more important part with the Akashic Records is that it's part of the quantum field of source. And so when you learn to read your own records, or you have a consultation with someone like myself, I bring my clients into the Akash with me so that they can feel the pure love and the peace of source. They're receiving that healing, whatever it might be. They may not know, we haven't asked the question, or we're just starting to converse about what they want to work on. But source has wrapped them already in that vibration of love and peace, and that is pure healing. Whether we're doing anything in particular or not. And so working in the records for yourself or with someone really allows us not only to understand it, to get some of the mental, story out of our head, to understand why. Also, to me, why would I choose an abusive family? Why would I choose to have that experience? Why would I, choose that?
So can I raise my hand with this?
Yeah.
In a way, because so if your karmic pattern was unworth, this is just my theory. If your karmic pattern is unworthy, when you choose your parents, do you think that you would still choose from that space of unworthiness? Because you would match with the frequency and the vibration of it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right. So, yes. So I completely.
So then, yeah.
Yes.
Then as being the mirror for everything in this reality that you're creating, then wouldn't the frequency also be that would be a matching mirror? And they're there to trigger you and charge you so that you have a human growth out of this.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's my theory around it.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, and how since you've seen so many people, is do you think that if we would all truly adore and love ourselves, that there could be hatred in this world? Right? Do you see how?
No.
Because that would be the mirror effect that same way.
Absolutely.
I just contemplate these things on a regular basis now.
I love that. I mean, that's just such a gorgeous thing to meditate on.
I know.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Everyone love themselves.
Yeah.
There could be no hatred, right?
Because
that could be something we set as an intention. That's the bigger thing. We are so powerful. Why couldn't we start with just ourselves and start, okay, if I love myself, then I'm ridding just me permeating throughout the world and helping to rid the world of hate. Yep. Like if we look at it from that perspective, wouldn't it be more motivating to start to love, to fully be like, I'm loving myself? Like that could be something we can all take away as an intention.
I love that.
Oh my goodness.
I so love that. Because it's true.
It's over.
Right?
So it's great when you get to it in like the first 30 minutes. Lisa,
but for those who it's a little bit harder to
and take some. If you would like a reading from Lisa, go ahead and raise your hand. Lisa, in doing your work, can you do you have a process or a pattern to really help people get back and remember who they actually are and that love and that adoration that they have for themselves? Do you have any practices on a regular that you do around that?
Yeah, well, absolutely. So the Akashic Record Keepers have given me, I don't know, dozens of tools, which I teach in my online workshops.
Yes.
And that is so much to one of the favorite ones I always do is the Rainbow Shield, because we're just filling ourselves with our highest energy of your soul, of your
I can feel it starting.
The light
when she said that, right?
Yeah. It's like feel called in that frequency.
Yeah.
Our hearts lit up.
Yes.
Say it again. What did you call it? Rainbow Shield?
I call it Rainbow Shield.
Wow.
So it is really, and so why don't let's do this.
Yes.
I'm going to bring everyone into the Akashic Records with me.
Yes.
We'll do a quick Rainbow Shield, and then we'll do a couple of readings.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, because that way you all get to feel that love.
Yeah.
Which answers so many questions. And
it
then
does,
you move
doesn't
into
it?
love, you're like, I don't have any questions. I always tell my students that. I'm like, write out your questions before you open your records, because once you open your records, you'll have no more questions because you're just in source energy and in love. So all the questions go away. So we have to write our questions while we're being muggles and we're in this density, right?
Of course, write your question while you're being a muggle.
I was going to say that is one of the benefits of working with someone who is a trailblazer.
Well, I mean, I was a hypnotherapist. When somebody schedules a session, they usually come to me with something they're struggling with. I mean, why else would they?
Oh, of course.
Right?
Sometimes when they have to write it down to remember, because you open the records and then you're like, I've got love.
I got all love. I don't know. I'm just floating. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so if you can close your eyes and just sit back. And I always love putting my hands on my heart because it really reminds us. And it's not just your fourth chakra heart. You have a high heart, which is where the thymus is, a spiritual heart. And let's just imagine that beautiful little spiritual heart opening and expanding as big as your body, as wide as your shoulders or your rib cage, just letting that beautiful spiritual portal heart open. And our fourth chakra heart also opens and expands as wide as your body. And we let the two beautiful heart centers merge together, becoming one sacred heart. And just feeling into that beautiful energy of sacred love that you hold in your body every day. And we breathe into that beautiful energy. And we ask the divine lords of unconditional love to help us center fully in this moment as we create this sacred space. Please wrap us in your love and protection and allow us to travel to the highest realms of the Akasha available to us today. Please help as we lay our multidimensional hearts open to divine love and release all resistance. Lords of the Akashic Record, please guide us to the deepest truth we can access now. Support us in healing and releasing that which no longer serves on our true path. We give great thanks for your divine love and support on this journey today. Just letting yourself take a few deep, slow breaths, noticing the beautiful divine source energy encircling you.
Oh.
As we just drift into the Akashic field, as we invite our own personal record keepers to encircle us, embrace us, and bring us into the Akash, the energy of pure love and peace. Good. And the record keepers are just suggesting we do this in a little different order. So we have the collective records open. We're all held in this love. So why don't we, I'm going to call on a couple people. I see some hands up, or you can. And then at the end, I want to do the rainbow shield to fill us all up with our highest Akashic energy, because I know we're doing some collective group healing here. So we'll clear a bunch of old junk out, and then we'll fill ourselves up with our highest Akashic wisdom light, our highest soul energy, and create that rainbow shield.
Great.
Okay, yay. So I saw Renee's hand go up first, so I'm just going to invite her to unmute herself and see what you want to ask.
Fabulous.
Hello. I'm open for whatever comes forth, so I have nothing particular.
Okay, no challenges in your life? Just
Yes, I have plenty. So that's why I'm kind of open to what is going to be the most challenging.
So, you know what they're showing me, actually, and this feels very true for you and for a lot of other people who are on the call. What I'm seeing is very blocked first and second chakras. And it's affecting relationships, empowerment, embodiment, purpose. It actually is affecting a lot of the challenges that most of us humans have. So what they're suggesting is I will do a energy clearing. So what they're saying is the back. So interestingly, we actually have, if you looked at your body sideways, every chakra looks kind of like a tube, and it has 12 layers from the front to the back. And so we're way, again, more complex than we usually think we are. And the back 4 layers are the unconscious. And so that is often where people court us, where we get attacked, where we shove all of our unconscious beliefs, all of our emotional pain and trauma, all ends up in the back of our chakras. So I'm just going to go through, and they almost look like plugs made out of mud, for lack of a better word for it. So I'm going to clear and release that from everyone's first and second chakras. It's not only this lifetime, they're saying it's many, many, many different lifetimes of trauma. And so we're going to clear that out of the first and second. So first chakra is very much about survival, and most of us have a lot of different death pictures in there. That means a lot of death traumas from other lifetimes also. So as we clear that energy out, the blocks, the stuck, the unconscious levels and layers, we're just going to run beautiful source quantum energy, golden light through that first chakra, just letting it not only clear, release, delete anything that's blocking, but really update and upgrade that first chakra. So it moves and flows, and they're like apertures. They open and close, and they want to be fluid. And so we're going to do the same thing with the second chakra. Just giving that a lovely clearing, healing, releasing. They're burning a couple of old soul contracts. So second chakras, again, we're complicated. So there's a lot of emotion, emotional pain and trauma connected into the second, as well as first, because survival. But some of the sexual contracts, some of the personal contracts. And so there's a couple of contracts that are in there that you were definitely holding, that they're burning, and they're just, of course, when we bring everyone into the Akash, we are inviting your own record keepers in to join you. So I am asking each person's record keepers to burn appropriate contracts that are complete, any vows that you've made around kind of hiding that pain or not having love, or there's a lot of energy around not good enough, believing. And so again, another huge pattern. These are part of the big patterns that have kept us locked down in this 3D matrix for so long. So we're just clearing, releasing all of that for everyone, and just running beautiful golden energy through that first and second chakra. And asking our record keepers to just kind of go through and clear and update everyone's chakras all the way up to the sixth. And they can just continue to work on you and let that continue to update. So you may feel it a little bit higher in the body. But again, no time and space in the quantum field or in the Akashic Records or in source, right? No time, space there. So we will let that continue to heal.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Dana is up next.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Reverend Lisa.
Hi, Dana.
So I've done some very deep soul level healing and have completed a 21-year contract energetically, and I'm about to do it physically. So I'm just curious what my soul would most like me to know as I step into this next chapter.
Really, the big word that's coming through is freedom for you. Finally, freedom.
Oh, yes.
So they want you to know, again, perfect divine right order, that beautiful divine timing. They want to make sure that there is no old beating yourself up for anything. And
no, it's over.
Good. Yeah, it's exciting. And I just feel that expanse of the freedom coming in. And so just allowing that ease and grace and speed, feels like whatever that means for you, speed, to quickly to fully step into this space of freedom for yourself, your life, like a whole new life. It feels quite beautiful. So
yes, I feel like my life is just starting at 50.
Yay, yeah, so beautiful. Yes, freedom. Yay.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much.
Of course, so many blessings. Wow. Thank you.
The Chiron return is at 50. A lot of people waken. All right. And let's go ahead and take Beverly. Beverly, you're up.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Really? Yep, yep.
Okay, thank you. I'm just kind of wondering, like, this year is a big year of like upheaval and change and stuff for me. And I'm just kind of wondering what you see, like what I should focus on personally, just for myself to kind of get through all that.
Mm. So what they're saying is really focus on your heart and on working with your heart, as I just was speaking about opening your fourth chakra kind of as wide as the body, and the spiritual heart as wide as the body, and letting them merge into the sacred heart, and then letting that really be as big as your aura, if that's comfortable. They want you to hang out in your heart and feel the truth of who you are, and fully, and these things really are practices. It's easy to say, but it's not nearly as easy to do. Allowing that embodiment of love that you have come to be.
And how is the best way to practice that? Like, I do some meditations and, work through my chakras and stuff, but to get started on that, what would be the best way to do that?
They're just saying almost as simply as I just explained it. It would be like, whatever your kind of meditative process is. Maybe you sit down and you kind of go into your beautiful space, into a meditative state, and then they're saying talk to your heart and invite your heart to really be the fullness of you, and let yourself feel and see that expanse and see that moving. I often see it like a beautiful spinning ball of light, and just let yourself experience whatever you experience, and then opening that high heart and letting that grow and blend. And so even if you did that for just 10 minutes a day, they're saying that would be so powerful to really shift all of the focus. And they're also saying that is creating the magnetic resonance of love and peace for yourself, and that is what you will then be experiencing instead of whatever else you're imagining. Let's know it's all peace and love.
Great, thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And let's take one more. I'm being called to say Lisa P. Lisa P. or Liz. I'm sorry, Liz P.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this. This is really exciting.
Good. My
Um,
pleasure. Yeah, what can I help you with?
So I would say in the last year or two, been slowly just discovering myself spiritually and have really been working on digging deep. Um, Partly because I always just felt out of place. Like I wasn't from here, it's like I'm a visitor here. And so I've always been curious if I've ever had other travel points and how they influence me currently.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I would say in general that no one just comes to Earth, right? So we are all star seeds. We are all multidimensional. We've taken many different shapes and forms over like this infinite time that we exist as souls. The planet, or a little collective group of planets that's popping up, is Sirius, which is also known as the dog star. There's Sirius A and B. Many of us relate to So to having been from Sirius, very connected to the ancient Egyptian gods. Sirius A is very much a water world, so whales, dolphins, and mermaids, or mer people. So often those are the two real kind of connection points, if that makes any sense, if you've always been interested in like dolphins or Egypt, or but there's a lot of and the beings from Sirius have been coming here and helping and supporting us for ever. And we have a lot of different kinds of connections. There's powerful lion beings. There's some very blue kinds of more humanoid beings. There's more fairies. So it's at least 3 worlds, A, B, and C, that we know of. But they're saying that you've spent many lives in Sirius, and you might look that up and see what else you see. But there's a lot of love and wisdom, some tech that comes from Sirius, but really I always get them as love, as so much love, and here in support. And so when I have been gifted 8 galactic access prayers to help people open their own Akashic records. So when you learn to open your records with me, you also kind of learn about who you are as a starseed and where you may have been from, because there's a Syrian prayer and an Arcturian prayer and a Lyran prayer and a Pleiadian prayer, right? So all these different, so it kind of connects to some of your home world energy. So kind of fun to know, so you can check into that, and that's part of why you feel like you're not really from here.
Yeah, because you're not.
Yeah.
Lisa, I know you want to wrap up with the rainbow. Can we, in between, add your special offer here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
of
feel like
course.
we've
Yeah.
gotten a couple questions of like, how do I open my Akashic records? And
Yeah.
I thought it was a great lead in.
I also feel that there's one other thing I want to address with this question up here. How do we heal from childhood trauma so that we can find our life purpose? And I think that I just think it's really important that you don't have to heal everything to be able to move forward. I feel like we're always on this constant journey of healing, and it's almost like people just like, I've got to clear out all the past before I can move forward. And I feel like that sticks so many. And I just felt like maybe you could address that while I bring up your special offer.
Absolutely. So yes, I agree 100%.
And that was
Jeneth.
the same question on the chat too.
Okay, great.
Yeah, because so everything has a bunch of answers. And again, one of the great gifts of the Akashic Records, especially learning to work in your own records, because it's more than one level or layer. But one of the things that I found that the Akashic Records is very powerful for, again, bringing you into this field of source energy, which is giving you immediate energetic healing. I also teach my students in Akashic Self-Mastery to clear and actually blow up. I like to blow stuff up and burn it. You know, I'm big on just getting rid of it. Some of the emotional pain and trauma that look almost like white hot balls of little fire, like not in a good way, right? Like a white hot coal that you don't want to touch. So you're not going to go near it. And that's a ball of emotional pain and trauma. Sometimes you can blow up 1 or 2 of them and it's enough, right? We don't have to dig out every story. It's not about excavating every bad thing that ever happened to you. In the Akash, we can say, before I embodied, I wanted to finish that karmic pattern. I wanted to learn about that situation. I wanted to help other people who had similar things happen to them in their lives. And in the records, you start to understand that in a bigger way that I feel like it just opens and releases that energy with much greater ease. So you can stop digging and start being like, okay, I get that. I understand why I picked that family, and that makes sense. And I have learned a lot. And, maybe I'll do something with that. Maybe I'll be a therapist. Maybe I'll be, use hypnotherapy to help people, or do some EFT or some kind of tapping or whatever it might be as part of your path. But we start to realize that we have come to reclaim these as gifts and talents, and often use them in some way or another, and it may be a tiny way, to go forward and as one of our purposes. So it's important to understand that really your soul plan is your purpose, like to understand who you are as an infinite soul with all of these gifts and talents and all of this amazing work you've done throughout the time-space continuum. And so I think it's really important for all of us to realize that looking for a thing is stopping us from more fully embodying all of our beautiful multidimensionality and our gifts and our wisdom.
And life experience.
And our experience. Exactly. Yeah. So we're kind of like ignoring the gift of who you are in truth in search of like a name or a job description or a title or a thing. It's many, 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 many gifts and talents. We've come to, and we'll talk about this a little bit, what we talk about my program.
Because let's go ahead and just do that right now.
Yeah.
We're just getting a little tight on time. So
yes.
Perfect. All right. Let's talk about how people can work with you, Lisa, in an easy way.
This is Empower Your Inner Goddess. So again, at this time in history, it is a huge time to empower ourselves to own our divine feminine energy and to help actually rebalance the divine feminine and the sacred masculine energy. One of the things the record keepers say that until we balance male and female energy on our planet, again, it will be impossible to literally continue to raise the vibration because it's such an important part of who we are as humans embodied. So this is a pre-recorded program, and we really go in and work on healing and clearing our divine feminine trauma from all of these different lifetimes where we were in the ancient mystery schools, where we were in the goddess temples, where we were spiritual teachers and healers and wisdom keepers and shaman and all of these things we've been where there's been trauma. So in this program, we spend about 6 hours pre-recorded where you would go through and you would go through all of these different past lives that have showed up to be cleared and released. You learn some healing prayers, some clearing tools, some different grace points, and we do a lot of past life clearing of trauma that is still affecting us. It affects us as standing up as women, as being really able to fully embody our power. And so the price is I think $97 for
yeah,
here,
I was thinking, right? It is. We have a special, let me give you that link in the chat.
Wow. So this is such a great deal.
Yeah.
Do y'all see that?
Wow.
She normally sells this for $333 on her site, but has given us this beautiful package for $97. So we have a special link for you to register for that. And it's very, very limited time. And of course, she can only do a certain number at this pricing and was so gracious to do that for us for this summit.
Yeah,
this is a huge program.
It's a huge program, for sure.
I want to say that it's probably good for men, too. Yes. It's not just a women's program. It's to embrace the other side that we've been hiding from. and ignoring.
Because, well, not only do we hold both male and female in each body, but we have all been both. And so there are plenty of lives where you may be a male in this life, but in another life, you were part of an ancient mystery school or a goddess temple or, a female healer. And you've experienced these traumas and these enslavement patterns. And so a lot of this is about helping us to unbury a lot of who we truly are as these ancient, wise, divine souls holding divine feminine and or sacred masculine in this life and coming to bring them together in balance. So it's so important right now this year to do this kind of work, right? To really
Absolutely.
transform the world through these sorts of things, because it bleeds into this life. So
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we want to do Rainbow Shield. I know I'm going to do a speed version.
Okay, cool.
Good. So just letting yourself take another nice deep belly breath and just inviting your soul to come really fully centered and down, 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 down into the physical body as we anchor the soul into the body, activating all of the energy in the physical form. And I like to just imagine like a glass pitcher filled with golden liquid light, and and it's just hovering above your crown chakra. That golden liquid light is the soul essence, this divine infinite essence of you and your soul. And we just want to pour that gold energy right down into your crown chakra. It pours into your feet, and it's just going to fill your whole body, feet and legs, filling your whole torso.
Mm-hmm.
Arms and head, just feeling that golden light that you truly are. And after it fills the body, it spills around you, filling the whole auric field all around the body until you become a beautiful golden egg. Your aura is all solidly gold. And this is about embodying you and your soul, owning, being the sovereign of the physical and the energetic field that is you. So imagine that golden egg around the golden body. Now we want to activate our rainbow shield to strengthen our auric field. And so there's a layer of red around the gold. That's layer of the auric field red. And then there's an orange layer and a yellow layer. And a green layer on top of the yellow and a blue layer on top of all of those. And there's one more indigo layer and a violet layer all around your beautiful golden egg. And we want to activate this energy of this rainbow shield by stating that no one and nothing may enter my physical body, my energy field, or my auric field without my permission and my consent. And so it is.
Wow.
So it's useful to do something like that every day, to be the sovereign, to own your space, to not let people run you around and take over your field and get in your head, all of the
Love it
things
so
that
much.
happened in our world, right?
Oh my goodness. It just feels so spacious and light. And it almost felt like we could just call up those words, Rainbow Shield Activate, or
Yeah, just imagine that. I just see golden me, golden egg, rainbow shield, all just feel it. And that's all it takes to really activate these beautiful energies. Just picture, imagine, feel, know. And there it is.
yeah. Wow. Any last words before we wrap up this conversation?
Just so grateful for the beautiful work that you
Mhm.
two are doing and bringing out into the world. I am
Thank
just
you.
adding my Akashic energy to the beautiful Crazy Rich and Free Summit, because I love all of those
My
energies.
goodness.
I just see them sparkling, crazy, rich, and free, sparkling. Yay. And it
Right.
just feels good and beautiful and exciting.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time too.
Great.
Thank
Uh,
you.
Lisa's link is in the chat. It will be in the YouTube caption later, and it will also be in the show notes on any podcast that you may see, just as a reminder. Wow, Lisa, it's just so nice to be back in your energy. I'm just super grateful that you're here.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just a beautiful way to start out my new year too with, my Monday morning. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank everyone so much. We just want to make sure we close and lock everyone's Akashic Records for
Yes,
now.
love that.
And I am so grateful to have spent time in the records of this group. It's beautiful and profound, and all of your energy brings healing out, rippling out into the world. So thank you all.
Thank you. All right, you guys, stick around. We have another speaker coming up in 10 minutes, and we have a couple announcements just so that you can look out for it during the show.
Right before you give the announcements, I will put I know that we have a couple requests to get the links to read the special offer and to post the special offer in the live chat, and I'll get that up for Lisa in just a couple seconds as well. So hang tight for that.
Great. So during this week, we are opening up our inner circle, which is called Mystique Society. And it has been running for about 2 years now, and we just have the best fun with them. It also has a live event that we do each year. And if you guys sign up for it this year, if it's okay with Lyanca, I would like to give everyone a ticket to that live event.
Wow. Hold on. Let me think about this. Of course. Yes, I am so much a yes for that.
But I am going to say you have to get the annual pass, which is for this week only. 222. This week only. It ends right after this immersion week.
Yeah.
And then you can also get a free ticket to our live event.
So the 222, it includes the free the ticket to the live event.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So look for that. We are doing our show on Thursday. We're the second guest on Thursday, and we'll be talking all about it. But mostly we'll be playing with you. We are both hypnotherapists. Lyanca, do you want to say a little bit about your work that you do?
So I do work from QHHT. It's the work from Dolores Cannon as she taught it. And basically it works with the somnambulistic state of mind, so the penal code. And we just go in really, really deep. I do some channeling, live channeling in that process. And it really works from you speaking with your own voice. So it's really interesting work. Go ahead.
Okay.
I didn't know how long you wanted us to go.
No, but that was fine. You were just kind of rushed it at the end. You're like, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm long-winded. I mean, I could go forever. Let's just go.
We're both long-winded because we have mics in front of us all day, every day. I'm also a hypnotherapist. I do these energetic dragon simonic sessions where we will actually go inside and really see some of where that pattern is ickiness inside of you. So you'll be invited to, possibly work with us also this Thursday, and we'll tell you a lot more about that. So that just look for that as we play and have more conversations.
Absolutely.
Up next, we've got Ahaumna, who on their last summit just totally blew our mind on how much she's been through, how much she's up-leveling, how much she is truly breaking patterns left and right for her clients.
She even made a music video most recently, and I heard her music as she was doing another promo, and I was like, I am in love with this song. She was like, have you heard the music video? And she had it posted on Instagram, and I was like, no, but I'm gonna go check it out right now. She's amazing. Ahaumna is one of those another trailblazers that we've been working with for a long, long time, and we've watched her progression, and it's it's mind-blowing. And this is the type of progression that she provides for her clients. So it's really fun to feature all these wonderful speakers that we're going to have on the summit.
Absolutely.
I didn't
So-
know how much time you were wanting us to use talking about Mystique or talking about.
I
so that's
didn't
why
have
I'm
a
like,
time. We don't plan this. I just felt like we should take a little bit of time and just welcome you guys, because sometimes right at the beginning we've got to rush in
yes.
because we don't want the
Yes.
speaker to take away from any of their time.
Another thing too that I wanted to say is be sure to bring out your journal. I'm a really big journaler. I'm a big advocate for it. I wasn't always, but I have really picked it up and over the last couple of years. And during these summits, I mean, myself included, I have had some really phenomenal shifts. And to the point where I've lost weight, I look different. If you look back, our people that are in the Mystique are completely have been transformed. I mean, this is real beautiful work that these speakers have put together to come and share with us. And you can and will be transformed if you allow it during these summits. I
Yep.
mean, it is full on. And if you can't be with us the whole time, that's okay. You still get the benefit of all of the summit, even if you are someone that didn't even raise their hand. I promise you, the divine has already worked it out where the person that's raising their hand, there is always something for us, every single person. Whenever somebody asks a question, you may not think so, but I promise you there is. Even if it's about a relationship,
Yep.
right? Like somebody's like, I just want to leave my man. I'm like, I don't want to leave my man. But when I listen to the answer, right? When I listen
you
to
still get the help.
yes, I still get benefits from the answers from the energy of the speaker. I mean, it talks about other, for me, then I start to look at the other different relationships, other things. So again, these are meant to be listened to and re-listened to. I mean, all of the recordings will be out there. You can get the recordings delivered to your inbox by doing our, signing up for our VIP. So there's a VIP package where you can get them all, forever, lifetime. Again, I mean, anybody that gets that, they get all of the other summits that we've done too. So these are meant to be built upon. These are meant to be listened to over and over and over again, even in the background of your life, because there is something that moves through and permeates. I mean, I get so excited when I think about it because it's so much bigger than Jeneth and I.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really meant to change the world.
We're just the
dare I so
NPC
boldly
players.
say.
We're just the NPC players in your life. Helping nudge you forward.
That are becoming prominent players in your life that are helped to nudge you forward. I mean, if it depends on what you want, right? Like if you want to have that background player, or you want to be like, you know what, I will have this be more prominent in my life and I'll take this in. And that's where you bring in your journal. Right?
Absolutely.
Dare I say, I don't even have mine in front of me. And I stole yours.
They stole mine for the little logo, man.
Cute. I'm so excited.
I was reaching over and
I
taking
feel so official now, like official talk show now. Yeah. We also, speaking of talk show, we also have the live talk show every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So we have a new speaker usually. I mean, we're so booked out. It's already to March. With all all new speakers. Great season in store for everyone. And if you can't listen to what I call the live taping, right, to the 9 a.m., all of them are edited so that they're a little bit more podcast friendly, so that you don't get all the uhs. And they are all put back out onto YouTube. And so you can sign up to subscribe to be a YouTube subscriber for At How Hustle. And then also you can find it anywhere you find your podcast pods.
Yep. Yeah. So after this week, just plan to come back every Tuesday and Thursday and hang with us.
Yeah.
We do usually have a guest too.
And you can sign up to be a part of our community on our email list, which is at howhustle.com. Again, that's howhustle.com. And you just that's our newsletter. It tells you who's coming out on the show. You can either choose to get daily notifications or you can get them weekly. But again, it just keeps you in the know and it gives you all the information about the different speakers that we have coming on this season.
Yes. And now it's time for our next speaker. Let me stop the recording. All right, go crazy. Now that we're off.
What does it take to go crazy? What does it take to be crazy? How does that make you feel?
Right. Let me lower these hands and we'll get her up. Here we go. All right. Yes. Is that, no, that's not her. Hold on, it's a good thing we're off the.
Well, she's really beautiful.
I know she is. Maybe I need my glasses for this part of the show. Where did they go? This is why it's live.
And why we edit before we put them out.
All right.
I always say this is like our live taping, right?
I swear I saw her come in.
I did.
Okay.
Hi, if it helps to hear me.
Thank you. There you are.
It does help.
Yeah.
Oh, there, we've gotten a little crowded here. Okay.
That's always a good thing. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful too.
All right, let me go ahead and start a new recording and we'll get going here. Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Lyanca Reyna.
And this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And this is day one of Crazy Rich and Free to Be. And we today are talking with Ahaumna. And she's a force to be reckoned with. Every single time we have a conversation, I feel like our mind is blown. And then we're like, who am I now? And I actually do feel like I'm starting to remember. And it's just been such an honor. And you've gone through so much in your life to really awaken and to help other people awaken and ascend. So welcome to the show.
Before we ask a couple questions, Ahaumna is a multidimensional speaker, healer, mentor, author, galactic wisdom keeper, soul-led life activist. Ahaumna lives in a pristine devotion to serving the divine through empowering women and men from around the world, elevating their worth, value, mission, and liberating their finances, health, and spirit. She has been a mentor for over a decade, and her courses, retreats, writing, and talks have helped to awaken, inspire, and bring joy through transformational powers of becoming aware of oneself as an energetic being here on purpose. Awesome. I mean, there's so many accolades that I could read here for you as well, but we're just so excited that you get to add Crazy Rich Free to one of them. And we are honored to have you here. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I always have fun with you. So I keep coming back for more.
Yay. Well, that's what we do. We have fun here.
With you too.
Yeah.
Why don't you just share a little bit about your background for the audience that is new here?
Mm-hmm. So for those of you who are new here, I am Ahaumna Ahmayah. I'm from the Sound Domains. I am an interdimensional walk-in. I came into this body in 2018 and fully took over this vessel, and the soul that was in here before transitioned out through a really loving, beautiful, very intense 2.5-year process. And I came here on a very clear assignment to assist in helping as many souls come into their body as quickly and as efficiently as possible for this planet. This is my first time on Earth. I don't come into the light domains often. And when I do, I have a whole lot of fun and bring a lot of joy. So I'm happy to be here. And that's like the 30-second summary of a very
long story.
Topic.
Yes, it is. It really is. And I think it brought up a lot of questions. One of the ones, and I don't want to go, because I want to go into the material. I want to go into why you are here. But when you were transitioning from this, when the soul was transitioning out and you were transitioning in, I know that you had a lot of shift in that time. What do you say to someone that thinks that they may also be a walk-in and are really struggling?
So this is a long conversation. We use the terminology walk-in so loosely here on Earth.
I thought so.
I'm a transplanial harmonizer. It's very rare for someone to have a contract where another soul is going to take over the vessel of a soul and the original soul is going to transition out. That's a very rare contract because of how destructive it can be for the body. You have to have a tremendous amount of zheng, you have to have a tremendous amount of energy, and you need a lot of support around you to not basically kill the body. However, another term that we've kind of umbrellaed this term of walk-in is everyone here is meant to go through their own soul downstepping and walking into their body. That in of itself can be a very intense process because most people are hovering around their throat and their heart with their soul and coming down into their lower energy centers and into their roots. Like it's you got to go and face the shit. Like you got to go and face all parts of yourself that see evil and things being a problem and bad and wrong and find yourself in it. And that's work that brings up every layer of trauma and pain and collective narratives and stories. And that is really intense. It can be
Yes.
really intense. Just like, imagine the biggest trauma that you've ever remembered and how visceral that was and how sensational that was in your body in that moment. Now stretch that to facing off with all the things that you hate and think are a problem and think are bad and
Yeah.
evil, because for your soul to fully come and walk all the way down into your body is a journey of unity and oneness, and no longer moving through the separation lens of the epigenetic overlays or the ego. And that's not an easy path. So find support. Like it's so important that you have people around you that can hold space for your process of where you're at, where you can be fully honest with them. And you have to trust that the people that you align with, whether they are facilitators, whether they are, family, that they can hold your whole story, but you have to be willing to share what you're actually going through and how you're interpreting what you're going through in order for people to actually help you.
One more question, and then I will promise we'll get into the real. What were the bigger differences between the Ahaumna, the individual that you were before, and today? Like before the walk-in, what would that look like? Just out of curiosity.
That would be like saying, what's the difference between Tiffany and Dana?
Exactly. And what was that difference?
They're
What was
two
that difference in you?
entirely different people. I mean, they're two entirely different souls. They're in two entirely different personalities,
Yeah.
two entirely different languages. I just happen to look the same, even though I don't
That's
actually think that I do.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I asked. I mean, we've worked with a
Yeah.
couple people, and you look at her from before. She was obviously, she said, I was very overweight, I was very unhealthy, da da da, da, and she looks completely different today after having the experience. But I was just curious if what that looks like on someone that has had that experience in your lifetime.
I mean,
That's all.
this body has been the same size since it was like 12 years old. So I definitely don't have
You're
any
so funny.
it's just like literally doesn't grow in any way. It doesn't matter what it does. It's just it. I would love to be larger because of how much energy I run. It's
I gotcha.
it'd be great to not have such a fairy like body with all this frequency. But just like
Oh,
like your face in in Chinese medicine and as well as in the Vedas, your face is your life story. So my face completely changed.
yeah.
Like I have friends who've known me through the whole journey and they know two different people.
Yeah.
Yes, that's kind of maybe the question I probably
Yeah.
should have asked. That's very interesting.
Mhm.
Also want to give time for people to ask you questions. So definitely want to make sure we're kind of monitoring that time as well.
And ask questions in the chat as well.
So you
and
can
just remember to make the chat come alive. You guys, you're all a part of this group. And I just want to remind you to not be a stranger of the chat on Zoom or YouTube. Please really be alive there.
And you can go ahead and raise your hand too, because we can start to queue up those questions for Ahaumna in just a little bit.
Absolutely. Ahaumna, one of the great gifts you have is helping people remember. And it made me think about what is it about remembering for you, and what is it that you know? Like, do you know where you were from in a galactic constellation right before this life? Like, do you pull on that on a regular basis? Like, tell us a little bit about this journey.
So mine is going to be very unique in that I didn't go through the birthing
I
canal.
thought so.
So the moment you come, because of the epigenetic overlays on the planet, that were in place. They're no longer in place. These things have been dismantled. When
As
you
of
went,
when? I'm curious about
do you
that.
know when
Because
it
I
was
feel like,
dismantled?
yeah, I feel
yeah,
We've
like,
heard that
I
before.
was running the activations. This was one of my missions, and this was 3 years ago.
yeah, I've been saying,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, this was 3 years ago when we reclaimed the moon, because that was what was holding the netting on the planet. That basically souls would go out, and instead of going into the bardo, they would just get looped right back in to
Mhm.
another incarnation, which was like this endless suffering cycle of reincarnation that's not actually organic. It's how it feeds the black hole systems. So when in that kind of timeline, and pretty much everyone here, when you come through the birthing canal, in the birthing canal is where all souls forget. Like that's where the overlays were put into place.
Mm.
And so when you would be born through the birthing canal, and also even just if you were pulled out, it's the Shadi center, which is like right around where the womb would be. So whether you were pulled out from a C-section or you came through the birthing canal, you basically went through into this netting and forgot. So as a walk-in, I didn't enter and get born in that way. I came into this body when it was 30 years old. So I have no forgetting. I know who I am. I know where I'm from. I
thought
know
so.
everything that I need to know for the mission. And that's why some souls take a walk-in contract, is because what they have, what their assignment is, they cannot forget. Right? It's kind of critical to the mission. So they take on a more intense, because it's not like I wouldn't recommend it. 10 out of 10. Like, this isn't fun. Like, it's not a fun assignment to take on. Like, I went legally blind. I was having seizures every day. I was having the worst hallucinations. Like, it was a really intense process to go through this journey of helping a soul that would normally take 100 years, give or take, to process all of their karma and leave. To do that in 2 years was really intense, and it required hundreds of thousands of dollars of support from facilitators to keep my body alive during that process, to hold 2 souls inside of it, and then full around the clock care. So I don't, it's not like, it's not an easy assignment to take on. There's a reason why we don't take on this assignment. It's not something to be glorified. Like, I'm not superior to you. I am you. We are one here. Like, there is no hierarchy. And I just took on a different mission that required me to take on a little bit more intensity. And like, that's it. Right. So, however, the remembering in for those that come through that birthing canal and come through that process, like, at first it actually has to begin by going back to that point of conception when you are born into this world. In the moment that you actually forgot.
Like the moment that you've been born into a soul. Is that what you're saying?
Into your body.
Oh, into your
like
physical.
The moment your physical form comes into this world and is born through that canal, where the moment of severing from that source field happens, we go back into that point. And there's many meridian points on the body that can bring us there, right? And we help to reconnect what was severed.
Awesome. How are some of the ways in which that you do that with when you work with clients?
For me, everything is about the meridians and the energy body, and
let's talk about that for sure.
Reconnecting that. I mean, there's several points on the body, and I'm not going to share them, mainly because, like, this is something that I don't recommend people just going out and starting to do this stuff, because you open up all these different things in your field. You open up all these different dimensions of consciousness, and a lot of entities are looking for hosts right now, and to feed on people. And so there is a level of discernment in what I can share that would make it so that I don't know who all is going to be listening to this, that it would be safe for them to hear this and not like open up this whole karmic mess of parasites now attaching to themselves and seeing, oh, food, look at this new person, like a new food.
Yes, and some people on this show know how to clear entities and parasites and all the things, and then there are others that don't. So let's not open the door for that.
Well, let me ask you this. What are you feeling most inclined to share with our audience today?
Well, I'm curious because we said rich. I've been on vacation since today. So I just came back. So I really have no idea, like, even what the summit is. I hear crazy rich and I hear free and I hear rich. And I'm like, okay, are we talking money? Are we talking wealth? What are you talking liberation?
Yeah, there's a lot right there, right?
Like, I'm here for all of it. Like,
yeah,
so
for real.
What do we really want to know? Because it's about reality creation right now. Like, everyone is here to create a reality. So if you're not rich, then you're not empowered right now to create your own reality, or you're still playing in old stories that are keeping you from being free, right? So this is the game that we're playing here right now. I think that's like in
One
the
of the
fields.
yeah, so one of the things I saw like on your most recent posts, you did talk a lot about how you created like an injection of money into your like actual cash money into your, and you show people into your world and you show your clients how to do that. Another thing that you've been working on is, I found really beautiful was the song that I think you wrote, and the music video, and that all came in together. And so I think, I'm not afraid to talk about full on money. Like, let's go, right?
Well, I think that it's interesting because a lot of people feel that there's this wrongness about being
Yes.
rich.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is a karmic block that we need to get through as we grow through this population and ascend.
I think she might have froze. Oh no. Well, and so talk about that, Jeneth, when you talk about karmic,
Well, I feel like I was even taxed with it. There was a level where I didn't have humility around. I felt that it was all too selfish
Yeah.
if I wanted to be rich.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're saying that, and maybe we'll use a little bit of this time while Ahaumna comes back on to talk about that, because I think there's a lot of people here in today's world, myself included, that still feel this little bit of pang, like for whatever reason, whenever we talk about being rich, when it comes to the form of money.
Yes, and I would love if you just put a thumbs up in the chat if you've ever had some sort of wrongness about being rich, especially in the presence of somebody who wasn't rich. It seems that I especially found myself. I love the thumbs up. They're like going like this. They're like sparking up. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There's a lot of There's
So
a lot of people that think this way.
that really have made. I mean, the Bible says, something to the tune of like how awful greed is.
Well, blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, who shall inherit the world. So then I'm like, do I need to stay poor and meek? Right? Like,
no, but the rich can be blessed too,
exactly.
as we found.
And I think that's
it was just missed because they were trying to help that karmic pattern and that wound of the people that felt pathetic.
Right. Yep. But here's the thing. When I would hear that Bible verse, or as a young person, maybe hearing some Bible verses in that way, or maybe it was portrayed that way, I think that I thought, well, I don't want to be like a bad rich person.
Mm-hmm.
And why isn't not like, is there not like a bad poor person? Like, right? Why is there differentiation? I should have just been like, I don't want to be a bad person, right? Like, I don't, and what does that even mean, right? There's no good and bad. But the real thing is that I thought that there was a judgment there. And I think that's where, regardless if it's from religion or from doctrine or maybe even from the movies, right? We see all the times that sometimes the ones that were wealthy in even Disney movies were the ones that were like the villain. Mm-hmm. And so I think that we have collectively created this place where it's not okay to be rich, to have money, and what does that mean? That really just means that we have resources, like, in my mind now that I understand it better, I want more good people to have the resources of money. Definitely. So that they could change the world. They can donate to be philanthropists. They can change the world. They can have a bigger message and really hold bigger spaces, do things like this, reach more people.
Absolutely. She's back.
Yay!
But now that we went through all of that,
we'll bring her in.
She seems to duck out at just the right time. Just these transition pivot points. Yeah, I haven't seen her pop up here.
So I'm also in Texas right now, and we're having a lot of power surges. So I think there's a lot of solar flares happening.
There is.
It's so hot. Let's see if I can get.
Yeah, it's unseasonably warm as well.
And we just saw in our Facebook group that a power pole is down. So I'm literally on my computer to my kitchen because I was like, I can't get anything to work. So let's see if my camera will come back on.
It was interesting though while
My
you were
computer
gone.
just crashed.
Okay. Maybe we do a pre-record later and share it with the audience.
Yeah,
if
for
you want.
sure.
We give you another second.
I mean, I'm here. I just don't know if you're going to be able to see me if my camera comes back or
That's
not.
fine. Do you want to just, okay, let's just roll with it.
Yeah, totally.
Well, so one of the things that we were talking about is there's this deep, 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 deep wrongness in some people around being rich, really
Money rich.
money rich.
Mhm.
And which would also, in a frequency standpoint, in my viewpoint, mean rich and riches in life. So what would be your process to help somebody or this whole group to maybe flip this wrongness so that we could rid of this karmic block?
Well, we're talking about victim consciousness here.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We're talking about the deeper core imprints into humanity that believes themselves to be victims. So that whole notion of looking at rich people or being rich as being wrong is because people feel victimized by the system that has maybe disempowered them, disenfranchised them, not given them an upbringing where they realized I'm the creator here, I'm empowered here, I have choice here, there's things that I can do to liberate myself and to create financial freedom. So any of that externalization, looking at money as the problem or as evil, like this is all them still being in victim consciousness, right? And we can kind of talk about how
Yes.
2027, we're moving into gene key 55 being the gene key that is the overarching frequency band of the planet for the next several thousand years. And that shadow is victimization, right? And the gift and city are freedom. So we're moving into a period where we are going to be evolving out of victimization.
I was going to say, isn't that exciting?
It's exciting for those of us who are willing to do the work. It's going to be really challenging for those that aren't, for those that are not willing to recognize their empowerment and their liberation and their freedom. But they'll also just, to be like, I guess point blank, they're going to die. They're not going to stick around on the planet. They're not going to be able to stay here after 2029, 2040s. Like there's just no way that victim consciousness is going to be able to stay on this planet with where this planet is going. So
I guess, yeah, go ahead.
I love using money as a way for spiritual development and helping people to reclaim their power as because to me, the definition of money is spirit. Money. What's the definition of money, Ahaumna? Spirit. And it's energy. It's how it is a reflection of our inner state and our inner empowerment.
Interesting.
How much of ourselves we have allowed to remember as the creator.
So let me ask this for the people that may, first of all, take issue with that, have a little bit of charge around that statement. And those who are struggling with money, now there may be a sense of, okay, maybe I'm not that spiritual. Maybe I'm not doing spiritual correctly. Maybe I'm not, there could be a sense of guilt. And I just wanted to acknowledge that that's not what we're trying to establish here.
Everything is spirit. There is nothing that is not spirit.
True.
Entities, parasites, everything you deem as evil is all spirit. There is literally nothing that is not spirit here.
I once heard consciousness includes everything without judgment.
Yes. I do that.
Right. So with every consciousness includes everything without judgment.
Well, that's coming into the unified field, right? That's how we get back to unity consciousness, which is where we're going. And when we're in that state of victimization, obviously there's that separation. There's not being able to see love and compassion and kindness for all of the different ways that the source has manifested itself into reality. Right? So that is the work of really coming back to the unified field, which is the evolutionary leap that's going to bring humanity into freedom. Right? This is like the bigger mission that we're all on.
Correct. This is the biggest mission we're all on
Absolutely.
Spaceship Earth. Here we go. So, take us through some of the steps that would get us closer to unity consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, a part of the process is I want you to name 3 things right now that you think are evil. Put them in the chat. That you hate,
Yeah.
that you see, that
Can't
trigger
see the
the
chat.
fuck out of you. Sorry if I'm swearing, but
Yeah.
I think everyone here is okay with it, because
That's-
if that's something that triggers you, then put it in the chat. I'm gonna swear.
Let's not go politics, though.
Can you bring the
Why,
chat up,
though?
Jeneth?
Yes.
Because if we that was just you in a place where you're not willing to find love and union and a part of it. There is nothing that we can leave off the table if we want to actually come back into unity.
Yeah. Oh, these are good. Child sex trafficking, child molestation.
Yep.
Yep.
So for those of you that have no awareness of who I am, I was actually graduated from school in criminal profiling and was accepted into the FBI and literally studied the mind of the most horrific acts that a human being could do in this life. And I experienced sexual molestation as a child. I was abducted and taken to the moon. Like, I've been through the ringer in this physical body. And the key here is that every single thing that you all just listed, you have to find yourself in it.
So think some of the things that they listed were child abuse, elder abuse, being killed, animal cruelty, healthcare system, hatred toward LGBTQ, judgment, superficiality, meanness, child molestation, child trafficking. I mean, these are all some, deep things. Yes. Politics, trafficking, abuse, ethnic cleansing, whatnot. Okay.
There's a lot of really intense situations that are happening on the earth right now.
Yes.
And the way that we look at those things and the way that we see them, and we want to get to the sensation that comes up inside of us, because that sensation is the doorway to your power as a creator. Because the reality is, hating these things doesn't change them.
Well,
doesn't create the path.
It only, and in some ways, it infuses it, right? That what we focus on expands.
Yeah.
So in our world, if we're focusing on any of these things and hating them, that's a strong emotion. And that can expand that emotion, and it can expand that viewpoint. And you might even see more of it showing up, not necessarily directed at you, but you might see more examples of more child trafficking that you are observing, right? That might be showing up more in your world. So hating it, like hating cancer, can have those things expand. I say can, but yes, I mean, hate's a very strong emotion.
Typically, the thing that we are most gravitated towards that bring up the biggest charge inside of us is because in some lifetime, you lived that.
Yeah.
You were the cause of it. You were a part of it. You were subject to it in any way, shape, or form. And there are certain things that you'll see happening on the planet that just don't bring up that. There's a lot of shit happening on this planet right now. I mean, we just listed several things none of us want, none of us want to have
it. Yeah.
Right? Like, these are horrible things that are happening to humanity. And there's certain things that you look on this list that don't bring up a charge inside of you. In this way.
Yeah, that's true.
Do, and that's because there's some part of you that is involved with that, energetically speaking. And that charge is coming up is because that part of you is the next layer that actually needs to be brought back into union for you to come more fully into your body and down into the root chakra.
I am so glad you were saying this, especially as we're talking about the shadow, right? Like, if that's the things that we need to work on, or that can help with this next, I think you said thousands of years, this next era, whatnot, understanding that, how those things, bringing that back into integration, I guess is the best word, with that shadow will help us traverse. So if my shadow is that, money is the root of all evil, then that may be something that I can use to circumvent this, what you called victimization, this victimization of humanity here on Earth. And as I heal, others heal. Isn't that exciting, right? Like that should be motivation enough. I keep saying that as a theme. Like if I'm not doing it for myself, then let me do it for my next fellow human. Because sometimes it is easier for us, and I say women, to want to take an undertaking if we know that it helps to solve others, resolve others too.
I love that.
Ahaumna, I want to make sure that we can take some questions. So please raise your hand on the chat if you would like to speak with Ahaumna. Because I don't want to run out of time.
And while we're waiting for some hands to raise, do you have a simple process that you do when somebody finds a trigger like that so that they can embrace it within their physical?
So we're talking specifically about in this unified piece that we're talking about, or are we talking about with money?
Yeah, no, well, either. I mean, because I was saying the whole reason we brought this up was because there's so much of a charge about being rich. And so we could do it with just that charge. But I was just thinking almost any of the charges where people wrote down things that they hated about the world.
The first step that I always do is I find myself in it. I find me that is in agreement with it, with the actual, like, let's say if it's about being rich, there's a part of me that's in agreement with money being more valuable, right? That's the, but there's also a part of me that created the fiat currency system, and that is, terrorizing. Let's go into it. That is currently genetically engineering weather to take over towns so that they can open lithium mines. I'm in all of this. I am one. So if we want to get back to unity, we have to say, I am one. If you want to be in your full creative capacity, I'm talking, the things that I've done are insane. Like I've asked for $3 million, 48 hours later, $3 million show up. I needed to open a nonprofit, ask for the land and the resources, it shows up because I'm fully in my creative command.
Yes.
Full creative command, you have to say, I am one with everything.
Yeah.
To do that, you have to find yourself. So I attribute the years that I was studying to be in the FBI, where I was learning about how to criminally profile serial killers, molesters, all the different things, was because I literally learned how to have compassion for them, because a lot of them went through insane, immense traumas, not always the case, the entities, all the things, like, and I found myself in them and learned how to see, hear, and love those parts of me that I then would go on these journeys. I'll just share like one story. This was actually out in Southern California. I can't remember the national park, but it was like outside of San Diego County. And I'm so clearly called to go into this park to watch this meteor shower. And this was like 10 years ago now. And I'm driving into this forest, and my guides are always available. They're like, hey, just so you know, you're being watched here. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, it's kind of standard when you're doing a lot of grid work that spirits are watching you. They're aware of your presence when you enter the space. But I started to feel so not well. I started to feel really dizzy. I started to feel anxious. I started to feel like I wasn't safe in the environment that I was going into. And so I kept just tuning in and checking in, and I kept driving. And eventually I was like, well, I don't feel right. And so I pulled my car over, because it's like winding through a national park at dark, and
yeah, not good to be driving like that.
I need to pull over.
Good for you. Yeah.
And I get out of my car and I shake my body and try to ground myself. And my guides are like, okay, you're now being followed. Like, you need to get out of this park immediately. And I'm like, all right, but I don't actually know how I'm going to drive this vehicle right now, because I feel like I'm going to pass out. So I need like a higher power, a higher aspect of me to come through and get me out of this park safely, which is what ended up happening. Well, I went into prayer for the next 48 hours on this experience to understand why this was happening. And I was led through all these visions of another version of me, this very large man that was in the during the gold rush in America, who was skinning the heads of the natives there in the forest. And those natives recognized the spirit as the spirit of
Interesting. Yes,
and
got
they were
it.
convinced to kill me there.
Yeah,
Right? An eye for an eye.
yeah,
I had to process that I was a part of that killing.
yeah,
I was a part of that. I was a cause in that, even though it's not me, this physical version of me that you see. I am one with the creation in all aspects of consciousness. And
yeah.
so going through that process, I mean, I was like literally the buckets of like mucus that were pouring out of me from just the depth of the release. I'm like, where is
Yes.
coming from? Like, it was like all the layers were just pouring out as I was letting myself grieve, but also I allowed myself to hear that version of me. Like, why were they there? What was there? What was the reason? And they were manipulated into this whole thing, and they were going against their own will because they were trying to protect their children. And so it was like this whole larger thing where we have to start to see that there is an interconnectedness with all of us, and the things that, because before that, I'm like, I'm studying these people, like, these are bad people, I'm gonna go and capture them and imprison them and be in the FBI, like, these are bad people. And
Yeah.
that was where I was at. I was the same as these triggers in the chat, because there was a version of me that did that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a version in a timeline, in a lifetime, where that was a reality, and that part of me was fragmented from my wholeness. And
I
that part of
gotcha.
me was self-critical, self-hating. That part of me tried to kill myself for the 2 times I committed, like, attempted suicide, because it didn't believe that it was worthy of life. That was rippling through into this lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that it took several months to really integrate this part and help this part to realize, like, it's okay, like, you're worthy of love. I love you, I forgive you, it's okay. And certain things just don't trigger me anymore, because I've learned how to see myself and find myself in those things and love and forgive. This reality of history constantly repeating itself is because the unconscious is what's repeating itself. The unconscious is what creates this reality, and people are not doing the unconscious work. So these parts of them are out there just recreating the story over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They're
So that's the first thing, like, find yourself. I know it is painful. Like, I know it's really painful to do that work. Like, this is not easy work. We're talking about work that a very small percentage of people will do. But if you are here for liberation, this is the work.
Yes.
And it's crazy. It's crazy
Yes.
work. But this is how you become free. And this is how we then create a ripple wave, because you can show up. I've had people reach out to me who have raped someone. And they've sent me messages like, can you help me? Like, can I have a session with you? You know how many people would say no to that person?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Because they wouldn't be able to hold that everyone is trying to heal here. Like, there's a lot of really deep multidimensional shit going on.
What about the person for, like, me, right? Like, I'm not fully aware of where I might need liberation. How would I, how should I approach that?
Find yourself in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on. Like, you get a little charge when you're on social media. Like, this morning, every month I follow there's people here in Texas. There's the monthly slaughter auctions for the equine. I have an equine nonprofit that I'm about. We rescue horses from slaughter. So I follow the slaughter auction. I know what's going on there. If I ever get, really, like, I see some of these horses and I just stop and I feel them and I let myself become them.
Wow.
And I keep watching and I keep watching and I keep watching until I've worked through that charge.
Wow.
Instead of looking away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I had a massage therapist, and before I would get a massage, we would sit down and talk. And he was telling me about one time he became this horse. He was like, I believe it was a past life, but I was the horse in this moment. And it just took me a minute to go, what are you talking about? But then now that you looped it back around, I have even more awareness about what he meant by that and how he, really truly became that horse so that he could possibly clear and move past that past life when he was being tortured, right?
I think one of what's coming through right now to share in this, because we mentioned in my bio about ascension and these things, and I think a lot of what is challenging for people is so many people think that they're trying to get out of their bodies.
Yes, we've been talking about that.
Absolutely.
Planet, when being here on Earth is an incredibly high honor.
Yes.
Planet, especially to be on this planet at a time of its awakening to a higher level of frequency. Like, you have had to have either been stuck here for a long time, which, like, yeah, that sucks, but now you're catching a wave that you wouldn't have maybe had access to before, or you had to have done extensive work on yourself throughout lifetimes to be able to come in and run the frequencies of this planet, because we're the receivers of the frequency upgrades that this planet is going through. Like, that's what human vessels are. We're like the antenna that catch the waves and it comes through us. Like, that's a gift. And a lot of times people have that like desire to get out because they're keeping all their energy in their upper chakras because of the fear of going down.
Yep.
Chakras, where you have to face all this stuff. Like, you have to look at this stuff. Like, if we want to, but let me tell you, like, what you will experience inside of your vessel on the other side of this, when you fully plug into the morphogenetic field and you're one with everything around you, is the most sublime. I'm like literally speechless. It's so sublime. It's like otherworldly. It is what we're here to be experiencing.
I am so glad you said that.
So it's such a cool journey to go on, too. As much as it seems icky to face anything, even if it's just like some pattern of proving that you've got going on inside your system, right? Proving, control, like all those other things you might, love it about yourself, you might hate it about yourself. But for you to go in there and even look at it and see it and just be with it, I think that's a profound journey. Yeah, absolutely.
Are there more souls that are raising their hand to do this endeavor than there are bodies?
We could say that there is a very advanced group of souls that are trying to come in, and they don't have bodies able to hold their frequency.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That is more, there's a way more bodies than we need on this planet right now. But the issue is those bodies.
There's certain bodies that, yes.
Those bodies are just really, really toxic.
Yeah.
And the systems that we have in place medically to actually help a physical body hold that frequency are designed to actually stop that frequency from happening. And there's a lot of souls that just, quite frankly, will not come. They're the souls that are trying to come in the next wave. They are not here to process karma.
No. They're
not here to be born through parents that have their shit not figured out. They're not here to be born into like trauma bonds and codependent, like all this shit that we all took. Hey, pat yourself on the
right.
They're here. Yeah.
So that this next wave can come in.
Yeah.
Love it.
I agree.
Yeah, they're really here to create a world instead of do a lot of trauma and drama around.
And we don't need to anymore.
Yeah.
Joe has his hand raised.
Yep. Question for you, Ahaumna, from Joe. All right. Whoops, sorry about that. Go ahead, Joe.
No problem. I recently had a diagnosis of colon cancer, and along with that came the idea of death. And of course, I went through all that trauma to begin with, and now I've embraced both of those into my life. And when I was embracing the relationship with death, one of the things that came through was crossing the river Hades in that story, and I asked that question. Is that what you're telling me I'm going to go through? Um, and they came back with something like that. And what I'm hearing you talking about is watching that until it's out of me. It's kind of the picture I'm getting. Am I correct in that?
Well, your colon, and if we look at the large intestines, this is the meridian where we let go of what's not serving us. So if we have manifested and created colon cancer, that is usually the byproduct of a lot of shit that we've been holding on to. So to go through that, journey of the Hades River, this is facing and releasing, right? So you're in a process where it's time to just let all that shit go that you've been holding on to, like quite literally, but metaphysically and spiritually as well. And that's why that message came through, because that river of Hades, like, what is that? That's going in and seeing all the suffering and all of the trauma and all the pain and all of that energy that is on the planet. And the large intestines, the colon, is a really profound spiritual teacher if we look at it from the meridians, where it is about, yes, letting go, but it's also about being able to absorb the nutrients and savor pleasure and savor being nourished. And so the invitation for you is to really look at, yes, what you're letting go of, but also where can you let more love and joy and pleasure and nourishment into your life.
Yeah.
And I am currently working on that process. So thank you for that confirmation. You just told me that clarification. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a great question. So,
You're so
Dana has
worthy.
a question.
yeah.
You're all so worthy. Like, there's no part of you that's unworthy of love. Nothing that you're going to look at is unworthy of love.
Dana, you have a question?
Yes.
Oh,
Hi.
Christopher says, "You're so beautiful, Joe. Your beautiful soul." Yes, very much so.
Yes, he is.
High five, Joe.
My question is, I was told in simulations that I have that this lifetime I'm completing a 2,000-year-old arc, and I was just wondering if you could speak to that.
In the sense of the grander scheme of time, humanity is going through a 2,000-year arc as we come out of a long, like, there are larger cosmic cycles that are at play in the history of humanity. Sadly, a lot of that history is not public knowledge because there's a lot of control dynamics that don't want it to be public knowledge. And this is where we can look at, the cycles of the gene keys or even the cycles of feng shui that date back beyond 2,000 plus years, where we know that we're moving in larger cycles that are at play. So there's planetary cycles that are happening at all times. And one of those is a 2,000-year cycle that's coming to a close. Now, if that is the same 2,000-year cycle that you're involved with, I know that we're all mitigating different missions and different contracts. So I last year completed a 20,000-year long mission. Like, that's a long time. But the way that we synergize this, at least I synergize this inside of myself, is celebration. Like, being a celebration. Like, I think the way to make humanity, your experience of humanity and being in the cosmic cycle of time, because there's a point right now, Dana, that I know you know this, that you are beginning that cycle right now, and you're also closing that cycle right now, and you're also in the middle of that cycle right now, and you get to, in this moment, become aware of all of that and hold the power of all of that in this moment. And that's really what these larger cycles to me are about, is, great, I'm coming to the close of a cycle. Like, let's say the microcosm, we just ended a 9-year cycle from the last 9 years, the last 1 year, now we're in a 1 year again, right? Mini cycles. So I go back and I look at, what did I begin in that cycle? And now when we look at a 2,000-year cycle, you can still do that. What did I begin in this 2,000-year cycle? what have I accumulated? What energy, what resources, what consciousness have I actually embodied through this 2,000 years? Because when you're at the beginning and the end of anything, we tie them together, we create a circle, and you now have the wisdom of the whole of that experience. So that's just the intuitive message that I'm wanting to share with you is fine, like loop them together now, because there's some power in there for you of this whole cycle that you've just completed.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you. And we've got Renee up. Renee, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. You were speaking earlier about finding yourself in the shadows or in the negative emotions of things, like the horses, for instance. And I'm wondering, can you speak a little bit more on how to find yourself in that process? Because I'm going through something that is negative, and I feel like I'm opening up to the ideas, and I'm just wondering if there's additional steps that would assist.
Yeah. I would say the first thing is releasing the charge of it being positive or negative and going into it from this is simply, it just is. It just is. It's all perfect. Because the moment our brains, the way our brains are designed is our brain is designed to preserve survival of our vessel. So our brains are optimizing and looking for threats to our environment. And the moment we associate something as negative, our brain says threat, survival, shut it down. So it actually will not allow us to go into it because it is perceived as a threat. So the first thing of coming back into wholeness, which is what we're talking about here, unified field, is we have to step out of polarity language and come back into moving through the center, right? So there is no good, bad, right or wrong, positive or negative. It just simply is all. Just simply is all. I am love. It's all perfect. Because that then shifts your brain, and your brain is not going to be registering whatever it is as a threat. And so, and thus then immediately shutting it down. So that's just what our brains do. And we can't override our brain's survival instinct. Otherwise we will be dead. I mean, it's just, we coded this quantum computer to keep our body alive. So that's step one, is making sure that you are not immediately stopping it from happening by the way that you're orienting your language patterns that speak to your unconscious, and your unconscious then says, threat, don't go there. So step one. Then once you've kind of gotten to that, we can call it neutrality, or I just call it, it just is. I don't even like to use a charge around it at all. It just is. This exists, right? This exists. It is. And then I consume a lot of content surrounding it. And I let myself get the charges coming up inside of my body. So maybe that's, I had a period where I was working through all of my things around the pedophilia and the child molestation and all of that. And I literally consumed hours and hours, probably for 2 years of my life, of content, because that was a really big one for me to work through, because I was molested as a child and went through a lot of really crazy things in that realm. And as things came to the surface, sensation, feelings, emotions, instead of saying, oh, well, this thing is making this happen, I said, who are you and where do you come from?
Yeah.
Who are you? Like this visceral anger, who are you? Like I'm talking to a child, right? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on inside of me? I'm looking inside of myself in this moment. What's going on? What's there? What do you need to tell me?
Yeah.
What do you need to show me? I'm here. I'm available. I'm willing to look at this. I'm willing to face for you. I love you. I love you. No matter what you show me, I'm gonna love you. Right? Because some of these parts, they've done things that they're not proud of, that they cannot forgive themselves for. And if we the one at the center of the bud, and to be the liberated soul, the Buddha that is aware of all of it and loves all of it, then we have to be the one that says, whatever you're going to show me, I'm going to love.
Wow.
And so as these sensations come up, because you're doing some exposure, right? This is why this is not beginner work. This is work with people who have trained themselves to be able to stay present, You have to stay present. If you go into these things, you can lose yourself and lose your mind and go insane. And not the crazy rich freeze insane, like like the mental
Insanity. Yeah.
and
Well,
Yeah,
that would
this-
be my first instinct, that I'm not capable of that.
Yep. Which would be a victimhood.
Right.
Right. That's what you'd call it, Ahaumna. Yeah.
because you are capable of it. Everyone is. No one is
Right.
here incapable of becoming whole.
Somebody said to me, "You're not that special. We are
Yeah.
all incapable. We are all
We're all
capable."
capable. I love that.
God, I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah."
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And then I guess people go to that I'm not good enough. Obviously,
You're also not that special.
Right.
We are all capable. God created us that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
or skilled enough. It would be my next phrase to
Phrase that-
myself.
It's an interesting viewpoint.
You know what's going on in your life right now, Renee. You know what it is. You know how you feel about it. You're in it, right? You said you're in it. So
Mhm.
as you are in it, instead of ruminating or thinking or going into all this stuff, just go sit down with yourself and just say, who is it inside of me right now that is really upset?
Okay.
Who is it? How can I love you? Like imagine you're speaking to, do you have kids?
No.
Oh, well, imagine you had children. Imagine you were watching how you would want to speak to a child, or do you have animals? Right?
Yes.
Like, me too. I've got 9 animals, right? Like,
Yeah.
how would you speak to your animal who just tore up something and was now terrified or was sick, right? You would
Right.
speak like whatever's going on, like I just want to help you.
Okay.
And just start there and just open up the conversation, because that's everything to me. Everything needs 3 things. It needs to be seen, heard, and loved. That's it. Seen, heard, and loved. That's the solution. We just have been unwilling to see and hear, because what we have to see and hear is really painful. But if you just start there, see it, hear it, give it space. Sometimes you need to move your body and let it move your body. Right? Give it like if things start to feel really big, then get big in your body and move your body as you're allowing this part to have a voice.
Right.
And then lean into like, can I forgive this? If I can't right now, what do I need inside of myself to forgive? Maybe I need support. Maybe I need to find a friend to talk with about this that can hold me. And when 2 or more are gathered, we have more energy amplified, right? So sometimes this is why we feel really great when we're just like venting to a best friend about what's going on. We feel relieved on the other side because that energy is now, hey, I got you. You're okay, right? So sometimes we just need to maybe invite in someone to that journey. And if you don't have any friends, like maybe it is a facilitator, maybe it is a family member, right?
And we meet live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock, and there's nothing but love. It's no judgment, and we're just a really beautiful, loving community. So just saying that. Plus, lots of people make friends.
They say
Thank you.
in the shamanic practice to be a hollow bone, and which basically is a lot of these, like just truly be empty. All this noise and everything that you've claimed as your identity and how you are and how people judge you and the whole shebang, that's all somewhere it came in.
Maybe just
Joe says, Renee, you are special and love that specialness that is within you. See, there's love here on the chat too. We got this. Renee and Rose says, I'm all that and a bag of chips. Stop reflecting your image on me. She was talking about that from earlier.
I love that.
Yes, you are, Rose, all that and a bag of chips. But see how these conversations really bring up some of that very, very deep, we don't even know it type of stuff that we can address and that we can integrate and be excited about for having this, established freedom. Joy in our lives.
There's one of the little ones.
We do want to talk a little bit about your special offer too, and ways to work with you, Ahaumna. Wow, what a beautiful, I mean, so many wonderful comments. The acknowledgement is huge. I felt that deeply, Ahaumna. What a beautiful response. So many wonderful comments here, too.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and talk about your special offer?
Remind me.
She's been on vacation. I love it. I love it.
It's the Christ-Star DNA.
That's the way we need to go to a vacation.
Template. I know, right?
It's the
I kind of
Christ.
did. And then I got back, but I've been back a week. So it all like came rushing.
DNA template activations.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll bring it up for you on there.
It is up.
Yeah.
This is a series of activations that came through several years ago. And it's designed to essentially, we were talking about the netting, we were talking about the forgetting, we were talking about all these overlays that have been on the planet. So these are actually several of the activations that came through that were reclaiming the Templar of the planet. So my reason for coming here as a walk-in that didn't forget is because I had a very important mission to run these activations with souls all over the world that participated in grounding these frequencies. So the DNA template activations, these ones are really designed to help you get back into your creative, Kitty's all over me right now, creative empowerment. They go through 8 different suns, or there's technically a final one that is the opening of the Layla doorway, but each one is about tapping you back into your organic timeline. There's a healing of the nervous system, like bringing you into a more harmonic experience of your nervous system, sealing your auric fields. There's just so many amazing things in this activation series. It really helps people to bring their gifts back online. It's been one of the biggest byproducts, helping people to so bringing their gifts back online. The second thing that people really share with me about this experience is that they feel like they're actually on their mission, a part of the earth here, and that they're doing the work that they came here for, because this ultimately is why we came here. And it's to do this work and to be the pillars of energy that are changing this world right now. And there's also the bonus training in there with my partner, Alex, who's in health. That is a really deep dive into understanding how our bodies are designed to become, become immortals, and different ways that you can take care of your health at this time.
Wow. And how long are each of these activations?
It really depends.
Depends.
Like, yeah, most of them are a minimum of an hour. Some of them, like towards the end, right before the Layla doorway opens, I believe that one's like 2 hours long.
Wow.
It really stretches your capacity to hold more currency and more power and more energy and create more space. A lot of us just don't have enough space in our body to hold all of our soul in it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, even if we just look at the Chinese medicine and the heart, that everyone's holding a lot of energy in their heart and their blood, and that's it. Just there's not enough space, so it's about creating that spaciousness. So some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. It's a live wave. So this is not a meditation. This is a plasma wave that was coming through the planet, and when you listen to it, you catch that activation. So it's spoken through me, but it was brought through all of us.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like it's more important now than ever to do some of these activations where other people have been guided. And it's I have a client that I've been working with that, brought into this, like, we were talking about the codex, and, he had these like 4 words that he gave me. And it was like, wow, that really reads as light, right? It's not light language, it's just light. And it just really got me into realizing that there's these codes all around us. There's these activations to elevate us. And yet we just kind of roll our eyes, and some of us do. I don't anymore. But I used to, because we're just like, oh, it's just another meditation. And it's just becoming really, really clear that we have all this help available to us.
Yes.
We just don't know how to access it, or we've forgotten to access it, or we put up a block like I did where we go, oh, it's just a meditation.
And you've got to realize that there are, if there's something that's really calling to you that is feeling very light and that your body's like, oh, I want that. Like, listen to that. Listen, because that is when you're saying, and I like, God, universe, send me some, I really need some help around this. And then there's, Ahaumna's beautiful program that says it has activations in it. And my body's going, yeah. And I'm not choosing it, then I'm almost saying, okay, I'm not going to choose to have this be the change that's available, because those are the things that they put in our field in order to change us. And many times I used to be this person. I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to get that. And then I'd go to lunch and spend the, same amount of money, right? Like that and some shoes. And then I'm wondering why I didn't get the change that I was asking for. Well, there were the tools right there, like choose in different ways, choose yourself, believe that. And this is the other thing too. I used to believe that all these things work for everybody else, but not for me.
Yep.
And
well, we just busted that one.
Yeah, I'm not that special. It's available for me too. And God was already putting these things in front of me. And I wasn't choosing it. I was choosing to numb out with the same things by going to the lunch and having the cocktails with the friends and buying the shoes that I thought that would make me feel better when this was right here in front of me. That's my little two-piece or my PSA for the day.
Oh my gosh. I feel like the amount of times that I've just been like, I'm going to get this product. I'm just going to listen to these activations at night. And then suddenly I'm like lighter and
you're like a different person.
Morning.
Right.
Yeah.
You go outside and the colors are different. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now I've learned to really lean in and choose. Yes.
Yeah.
So Joe's saying yes, yes, yes with the heart. Yes. It's available. And I think that's so beautiful. And we made it very easy. And Ahaumna, has lowered the price on that for the summit as well. And we do a 2-pay. So we make it super easy for you to choose yourself. A 2-pay on anything that's over $100. So, okay, well, great. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's super, the value is so much more there.
Yeah.
And we make it super easy for you to choose you. And if you need a 2-pay, write me, team@hustle.com. We really want you to be able to choose yourself and get the change that you are so seeking, right? That's basically it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Wow.
Pretty cool that we have 3 sets of fraternal twins here, and breach, not that common. Oh yeah, for sure. And some of the other comments was like, oh, I can so relate. Yes, I agree with that too. There are many things that we do that I think many of us can relate to that you spoke about, Ahaumna.
Yeah. Wow. What a great call.
Do you have any parting words for us today? Sorry.
Go for it. I was going to ask anyway.
I knew you were. I felt it.
Or a mini activation would be fun too. Sorry. I
think you're breaking up, babe.
Yep.
Looks clear on my end.
Yeah, here we go. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Just that acceptance.
And
acceptance for all that you are. There's no part of you that's unworthy of love. There's nothing outside of you that you are not in some way in alignment with it. And the more that we can move from acceptance, the greater and faster your life is going to transform all around you. Take more of your power back into your seat of command, and that is where you create your life. So accept and love and forgive, and you've got this.
Just like that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Dana says, been an amazing call with the Purple Heart. And Leilani says, so inspired by your level of devotion. Ooh, yo también. And then thank you, Ahaumna. For sure. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And thanks the audience for being here and really receiving and going down this road with us.
Rose says, I appreciate you. And on the chat says, oh my gosh, such an amazing call. Yeah, I agree with that too. Thank you, Ahaumna. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Oh, we created this.
Yeah, we did. Oh, thank you for saying so. And she says me, not me. She says we in the way that it is all of us on this call. You, all of you, really.
Yes.
Alrighty, we'll stick around. We have
like
5 more minutes.
Moment. You guys, I just want to remind you that if you are looking for a special offer and maybe you're like, I don't remember who it was, but you could kind of pinpoint the time, everything on the live page at houthustle.com/live, everything on that page is in order as the agenda for when you might have seen this person.
You want to swap over to the live page so we can just talk about it? Basically, it's our dashboard, and it's going to be the dashboard for the entire season. So whenever you see this, although we used the summit to kick off our season, woohoo!
Yeah.
There's our lovely little faces.
Wait, I'm not yet there yet.
Okay, hold on.
Almost there. Just a second.
And it's a dashboard. So basically everything that you need going forth, even with the live show, you can get here on this page. So I want you to bookmark it. If you are getting this page, you are already on our newsletter.
Yep.
So that's even wonderful. Yeah. And so you just bookmark this page.
Sorry about that. I was going to put it in the Zoom chat. Oh, well.
Are you sharing? Yes?
Yes, I'm trying to share it, but I don't know. We'll just talk about it. Here we go. You all are getting this in the newsletter. If you're not on our newsletter, go to houthustle.com and get on the newsletter. And this is what it looks like. Here we are today doing our little talk and live stream right now. And here's who we've had on. So we had Lisa, and you can get her special offer here. And Ahaumna, you can get her special offer here. And then we're going to have Dr. Lisa in just a moment. You can get her link right there. Of course, if you ever get lost, but you know a show is coming on and you want to join on the Zoom, it's right here. Then we've got a daily schedule.
Isn't that fun? I'm excited.
We have a really good tech team that has really masterminded this whole thing.
I know, I love her so much.
This is the whole schedule and agenda right here. This is where we're talking about Mystique. Exciting. And how you can work with us as well. And
Joe's laughing because he loves, we've had fun and we've talked so deeply about the different things, and each person's gifts are activated by being amongst each other. So I do, intuitive readings, and whenever I'm sitting with some other people that are much more clairaudient, I can hear better. It's amazing how we really activate each other's gifts in that group. So it's super fun. We'll tell you all about it on Thursday. You're going to want to hear about it. I promise.
If you just want all these recordings for yourself, we do host this on YouTube, but we don't keep them up there. But you would go on down here if you do want them. And we've made them pretty reasonable at $47.
And that includes any summit that we've done from before. So you get the recordings of that. And we're just constantly, adding to things and putting stuff in there. So it's really fun, but you get all of the stuff from before. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yep. And it's all written right here. So that is
for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And as long as we do these summits, you're going to keep getting updates with them too. So that's what that looks like. So that's
you totally would want to get that, because like I said, these are meant to be listened and listened to again.
Yep.
And you can go back and listen to the older ones and then come back and listen to that speaker. You will learn the different progressions of the information. It's just, I always say that they're so divine. This whole summit, this whole show has been so divinely guided. Mm-hmm. Even if we tried to put our little paws all over it, which we try to do sometimes, and then Spirit just says, no, I need this, this, and this, and this. And all of a sudden it just works out and we're like, okay, I couldn't have done that better myself, right?
Yeah, we'll basically go into an energetic state and go,
yes,
who's on our next summit? And then we will pull from the seasons of our talk shows. Yeah. Who are the people we can go anywhere with at any time, always? And that's where we pull from.
Or
And
what's the
that's
energy that this is,
yeah,
you know,
what
that the
ener-
audience is needing right now,
how we
right?
create crazy rich free.
Yeah. And there'll be another iteration of Crazy Rich Free that
Yep.
will look a little different, right? So, you know, somebody that may have been on the summit that was on the last summit or that wasn't on the last summit, they will show up again. So as the energies are needing whatever divine is really calling us to do, and then sometimes people fall out the very last minute, and we're like, how did that happen? You know, all of
Yep.
these things, and then somebody else is like, you know, they'll sign up to do it because we're so well kind of overbooked that you know, divine does that for us. It's amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah. At some point, we should create a program on how to grow your business from the spiritual entrepreneur perspective. Or
It's
something like-
definitely helpful.
in there. Yeah, it's really fun doing it that way.
Yes.
Great. All right. I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to bring Dr. Lisa up and we'll get going. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull you in. So excited to have another conversation with you. So excited, so excited, so excited.
Oh, I know, right? Right.
There's certain speakers I just feel that. I mean, I don't know, all of them I feel that a little bit, but you are, you know, we recently had you on and just, wow. Okay. All right, but I'll start the recording and say that again in a not so excited way.
In fangirl? She can fangirl you over you.
Yeah. And I just want to make sure my mic's good. Can you hear me?
Yes, very good.
Yes, thank you. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Lyanca Reyna.
And this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. And this is day 1, speaker number 3 of the Crazy Rich Free to Be show. And today we're talking with Dr. Lisa Thompson. And we are going to talk about aliens and ETs, and we're going to go every single place that we want to go. And we're probably also going to talk about how to embody more of this frequency of being crazy, rich, and free.
That's right. A few words about Lisa. Dr. Lisa Thompson is an internationally recognized best-selling author, speaker, galactic ambassador, founder of the Infinity Healing Method, who bridges the worlds of science, spirituality, a lifelong experiencer of extraterrestrial contact, and she has established herself as a multidimensional channeler who communicates with 13 higher dimensional ET races, primarily the Arcturians, the Urulu. Okay, I'm going to let you say that one. And then she guides individuals and audiences through life-changing experiences that empower them to step into higher power by embracing self-love, trusting their intuition, and overcoming fear to take inspired action. You know, I have to say, everyone, like when I'm reading these, sometimes we use words that most people don't use on this show. So I always kind of laugh because, okay, I'm doing good. Then I get to the name of extraterrestrial race and I'm like, yep, that's when I'm up to let her tell us about. But welcome, Lisa. And this is the reason why it's so joyful to have you on, because you do get to educate us about some of the things that we don't maybe know or understand, but may intuitively and in our hearts feel are very, very true.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Welcome.
I am so happy to be here with you guys again.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
And, I pulled a card before the last just went because I'm like, okay, what do we need to know?
Yes.
1 year numerologically, and we are going to have open contact very soon.
Oh my God, I'm excited. That's exciting.
Like it's more and more and more. And so the card is actually from my Wisdom of the Galactic deck, which we're going to talk later about my program with that.
Yes.
But the card that I pulled is perfect, of course. The cards never lie.
Of course, of course.
It's the Orion card, and it's integration. And it fully continues the conversation you just had about integrating polarization and really healing those parts of ourselves where we still judge ourselves, because that's where we judge other people, and that's where being separated. So anyway, I just wanted to share that real
and
quick.
very beautiful deck. I can't wait till we talk a little bit more about that too. I was like, what a pretty card.
I know.
The Orion card is gorgeous too. So thank you. one of the things that has been coming up for me, and because I worked with, and I did this whole thing a long time ago. If you followed our story, it's, I did QHHT, started channeling, was on a ship, know about the way showers, knew that knew that I was here to share with humanity that we can feel safe about the ETs and about contact happening. When you say things like, we're going to have first contact, yes, this group might feel, good about that. But what are those maybe that are joining us that may not, they're like, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't know. How do you address that? What do you say to people have to feel the safety, to feel okay with what we're having happen?
Okay, so one of my missions here is really to change that fear-based narrative.
Yes, I knew it.
The government, media, and Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because for years, decades, we have been fed that even if they exist, which the government, we have had disclosure, they have admitted, yes, it is real. And they're still spinning it that we have to.
Isn't that funny?
That we have to perceive it as a military threat, which from a military mindset, I get it from their perspective because they can't control it. And so anything that they can't control, then
Got a good time outside, eh? Long time.
Hold on, wait a second.
Yeah.
Little spirited there.
Yeah. So
they might have already gotten themselves.
For the people that I speak to even daily, like, because I lead Night Sky Watch UFO tours here in Hawaii on the Big Island. And I have people that come on my tours that are like, well, what about the negative ones, the bad ones? And I love speaking about those guys as well as the higher dimensional ones. And there is no good or bad ultimately. Everything is an expression of source, of love, just like you guys just had that beautiful discussion. And so really, it is fully my understanding, my experience, my reality that if ETs wanted to take over, wanted to destroy Earth or harm us, they would have already done so a long, long time ago.
Right?
And now I know there are people in the ufology world that talk about the negative ones and how we've been in this like Earth quarantine for however many thousands of years and all of that. And maybe some are in control of the government, the politicians, all the things. Okay, that can exist. And you can also experience none of that to be part of reality.
Yes.
Be in
Yes.
no reality. And that's what I'm here to share and teach.
Yeah. Can you just give us a brief background, like check just for the new people? I feel like we just jumped right in from our last conversation, and then it's like people are probably like, "Wait, who is she? Who is she? Wait, what? What are you talking about?" So just give them like I love the 10-second clip.
It's also inspiring too, right?
Yes. Okay, well, so I have been a lifelong experiencer contactee with ETs. They were tinkering with me in my mom's womb to keep me viable to be here on Earth because she was trying to like negate me being here.
Yeah.
I was not wanted. And so I had my first conscious contact of being taken onto a craft when I was 15. And then in October of 2018, I met my Arcturian family, and I actually met my Arcturian self, but I didn't know that it was myself until 2022. And so that name that you couldn't pronounce, Uluru, that is my Arcturian name. And
That's beautiful.
I am a master healer, and some people might be like, oh, that sounds familiar. Yes, it is the same name as former Ayers Rock in Australia, the sacred site. The Aboriginal name is Uluru, and I do have connection with that land and lots of other places on Earth as non-human. And when I realized that Uluru was me, what it did, I'm not a walk-in like our prior guest, but I am more integrated, like braided. I'm understanding these multidimensional aspects of myself, where the more that I am embodying that, integrating it into who I am, then more and more of my superpowers come online. And we all have that ability.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I help people access.
Uh-huh. I almost want to say, how do you help them access it?
Yeah.
Well, one of the
I mean,
things is, so like you guys, I also do regression hypnosis. And so through that process, I'm able to help people understand their other lives, whether they're of Earth or not.
yes.
I also help people meet their galactic family and guides. And what's fascinating, like seriously fascinating, over the last month and a half, I've been doing quite a few of those types of sessions where when they're in that regress state, I'm asking them, are you meeting, is this your family, a guide, or an aspect of yourself? And 80% of them so far, it's like, oh, that's an aspect of myself. And when people realize that, then we're able to bring that part of them back into this Earth reality, because we are here to be Earth humans. And can I pause real quick and let my dog out?
Yes, please. Us Earthlings will wait. Oh.
And now he's not okay. He was barking like he needed to go out. Last time
We didn't hear him, but yeah. Oh,
well, it seemed like the energy amped up. Lyanca just had to get up because our fan started going crazy. We're like, what?
And I was like, it must be the energies. It's our buddies here to acknowledge. I was like, all right, I got you. I feel you.
Well, so what's interesting is that we are at a time in Earth's period where there is a mass awakening going on. You know, that's why people watch your show.
I know, I'm excited.
We made it just for that reason.
Yeah, real talk. Because
And so when people are starting to awaken in this reality, they are ready to really understand how multidimensional they are. That more than just this one Earth life, we are infinite parallel lives. And we all are connected to source ultimately. And love is the basis of everything. And so even I know in the former discussion, there was this talk about the shadow self and moving into, that's really the lower vibrational level of what we're moving into. But the higher vibration is this integration, like the Orion card just pulled.
Yeah.
Well, and I think as we talk about this integration, I mean, do you think that that's the same as the ascension?
I do, because when we are in this really dense third, fourth dimensional, third density vibration, that is where polarity really is just a law. That is something that we experience. We can't get out of that reality. And ultimately, we are all of it. So there is no good or bad from the higher perspective. And so the more that we are raising our vibration, we're clearing away stuck traumas, stuck emotions, whether it's from this life or other lives that are bleeding through into this life, which is the kind of work that I do, and I know you guys do, clearing that out and then really integrating those aspects of ourself, the shadows, the judgments, all the things. Then we're coming from a higher perspective where we can have full compassion and empathy for humanity. We can come truly from a place of love. And no matter what is going on around us in our environment, on this earth, wherever, we can create our own environment. We create our own reality consciously. And we're in this higher vibrational state of love and joy.
I feel like I'm jumping all over the place, but I just have a lot of questions underneath here that I want to ask you because, as you know, I think we mentioned on the last show that I started channeling the Arcturians as well. And I also have a name up there called Ormetus, which is a high priestess. And so when you met your Arcturian family, was that through a hypnotic state or was it different than that?
It was a little bit different because it wasn't full hypnosis. I was
Mhm.
actually taking a psychic intuition class for
Uh-huh.
8 months. And on the very first night of class, our teacher led us through a meditative journey to meet a spirit guide that would help us get extra information. Now,
Mhm.
I had already met some different guides, humans and animals at that point. But this time I went to a completely different realm. And so
Mhm.
again, it was a group kind of meditative journey. So that night though, I was able to go very higher dimensional for
Uh-huh.
what good reason. And that's when I'm in this realm and in front of me are the Arcturians, who I didn't know that that's who they were at the time.
Mm.
There was a lady in class who, when I was describing what these beings looked like, she's like, that sounds like either the Arcturians or the blue avians. And I do
Mhm.
have a connection with the blue avians as well. But
Mhm.
the Arcturians, when I went home and Googled what that was, I was like, oh, that's exactly what I saw in this journey. And what is even it just was unfolding more and more and more. And so in 2022, when I wrote my book Connection to the Cosmos, that's when I started channeling the Arcturians. They were the group that wanted to come through first,
Mhm.
and Uluru specifically. And I realized, oh, I am just channeling myself from this
Yes, you are.
right? And so
Yes.
Yep.
that made it so much easier, number one. And then it took away any fear that there might
I-
be, because, some people do channel different vibrational beings and
Mhm.
different messages that come out. And I know, like, for me, I grew up in a channeled school. I grew up in the Ramtha School of Enlightenment, where all the messages were being channeled through an entity called Ramtha, through a lady named Jay-Z Knight, for those who aren't familiar with Ramtha. And so I never thought I would be a channel because I'm
Oh,
like,
interesting. Did it have you put that on a pedestal almost? Like it was outside of you?
Yeah, it was better.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. No,
yeah,
I grew up in regular government public school, so
Yeah.
well, no, and I grew up
I didn't
in
even know nothing about it.
okay, no, I grew up in public school too. This was like,
Gotcha.
like going to see Bashar or Abraham
Okay,
Hicks,
gotcha,
got it.
gotcha.
except for Jay-Z Ramtha. They turned it into an official like school where you had to go through certain courses or events to stay current, to be able
Yep.
to attend and all of that. So it
I
became a little
gotcha.
more official than just
Right.
randomly going to see Abraham.
Right.
Yeah, I
That's
gotcha.
a single event.
Yeah, and that's another point too, but I don't know that we have to go there, but it's available for us, so much more available for us, and I wanted you to kind of go into that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
okay, so you know, what I was exposed to, and I first got exposed to Ramtha in 1985. I was 12, and then we moved to Washington State to be closer in 1986 when I was 13. And imagine back in the 80s. Were you guys even born?
Yes.
I know. I know.
Yes, yes, I got a 7 in my number.
I do too.
That's cute though. Uh,
Like
go.
some
I'll
of
take the compliment.
the people watching might
People
not
watching though.
be old enough to remember the 80s. And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, channeling, that was considered cult-like,
yeah.
weird, like totally out of the norm, right? And the town that I grew up in, or where Jay-Z lived and all the channeling was done, was this tiny little town called Yelm. And it was like a one-stoplight town, very religious. And so I had this push-pull kind of thing, like, okay, I understand all the things being taught to me and it makes sense. And then I have all this hatred from these religious kids that I was going to public school with that had major judgment about Ramtha and all the things like that, because I thought it was the devil and demonic. And so because of that, yeah, and Jay-Z would go into a super deep trance where basically she was checked out and Ramtha was controlling the body fully like a puppet. And so I never thought that that would be anything that I would ever want to do, because it takes a lot out of your body, a lot of energy running through. And so when in 2022, when they were like, yeah, we want to channel through you, I'm like, I had to get through my fear of it, of being like, okay, well, what are people going to think of me? And then I had to process that. And what other people think of me is none of my business. If I'm here to share these messages and really understand who I am at a deeper level, then I just have to do it. And I had already moved here to Hawaii, but I did take a channeling class, which I'm very grateful that I did, because I tried reading books to learn how to do it. And reading the books wasn't helpful. Before I took the class, though, I did have a regression session where
That
Uluru
helps.
fully came through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that started the vocal channel opening. Took the class, learned how to stay not in full trance, but mostly present, but just stepping the ego to the side, where I wasn't controlling what was coming out of my mouth, but I could stop it if I needed to.
Yeah.
And so really, like, everyone does have access to this. And what I would do is I would voice record myself of whatever.
I say that all the time.
Yes, and journal.
Yeah, whatever wanted to come through. And it started coming through writing at first. And so for some people, that channeling method, that automatic writing.
That's right. I have to remind people that Abraham Hicks started with her nose like this. Somebody else had the gumption to like take that down as letters. Like,
but sometimes I'm like moving screens.
well,
I find
maybe you're doing letters. We don't know, but you see what I'm saying. But you see what I'm saying? Most people don't know that they're receiving something and they're just writing it off, or they're not even giving themselves enough time to kind of lean in. And that's why I always say, open your, take a pen and paper, even if it's just scribbling weird stuff onto your paper. Sometimes that's stuff that activates you. Most of the time you will start to might get sentences, words. Yeah.
Well, and actually in October of 2021, so before I started doing the vocal channeling, my light language came online, and that actually came through my hands. And so, for people who are like, what's light language? So it's a different language from different higher dimensional realms, and it can be spoken, it can be signed, it can be written out as symbols, like it comes through different forms.
Yeah.
And so that was coming through, and I could feel that energy through my body. And I'm like, okay, I had the activation the next day. My hands are just going crazy. And I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Yeah.
You are. Yes, you are.
No. Do you think we could do a group channeling session today?
We'll see.
Well, where do you want to go? I really want people to be able to experience your work.
Yeah.
And so that can either be done from people asking questions, getting reading, or a group, whatnot, or in meditation, whatever that looks like for you, activation, whatnot.
I'm happy to take some questions. I could do a little journey, activation kind of journey.
That'd be great.
Just to give a sample of, what the kind of work.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
So just before we do that though, so Arcturians started coming through 2022, and then beginning of 2023, once I had gotten used to that energy running through my body, then it was like, okay, it's time to bring in some of your other groups. And so that's where the additional 12 groups came in. And I ended up doing 13 different sessions, channeling the 13 different groups. And this is just a tip of the iceberg as to who I am and who everyone is. And what I realized, just like with the Arcturians, it's like, oh, these are just different aspects of myself. There's nothing scary. And it's all about just learning how to raise your vibration. And anyone can connect and get the messages for themselves. So, okay, what do we want to do next?
We just gave you the floor.
I'll ask a question. Go ahead.
I can ask questions too. So.
Okay, so, there's a question that I would like to address. Are there any indications that your body is trying to adjust to new frequencies?
No, that's a good question.
Okay, that is a good question. And everyone's going to experience this a little bit different, I think. But for me, what started happening is I would get ringing in my left ear, specifically when my ETs were giving me downloads or letting me know that they were there.
Yep.
And then what started happening with really bringing through that Arcturian energy through my body was I would feel this immense pressure on the back of my neck. And so I'd even just be in my kitchen doing the dishes and I'd feel this pressure. And that was them like, knock, knock, it's time to do some kind of transmission. It's time to do a session. And sometimes I'd be like, now's not a good time. And we do have total free will. It's not like they're just going to take over our bodies. And then other times it'd be like, okay, no one's in the house. Let me go into my bedroom. Let me get the voice recorder ready and let me just do this.
Yeah.
So I also, I'm very clairsentient. And so I will feel all the energy throughout my body. And even sometimes when I'm doing the night sky watches, when there is, we're having the light show, what we call the light show in the craft, and we'll get a massive power up. I will feel that energy throughout my entire body. And so really that is, those are some of the ways that it can come in, but it's going to be a little bit different. What I remember one night when I was still living in Olympia, so I've been here in Hawaii for 5 years. And when I was back in Olympia, I was in my bathroom, like brushing my teeth, and I felt this immense pressure pushing down on my crown. And I wasn't afraid at all. I was like, okay, what are we doing here? And I couldn't interpret what it was, but I just knew that it was some kind of download coming into my body. And so that's another way that these frequencies can come through and will come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thanks for the question. Any other questions on the chat? She said, super informative. Thank you.
So I have a question. I don't know if you can tune in individually or how you do this, but I have really been receiving lots of information. I got so another one of the speakers mentioned that I should probably do more mediumship because I had done that before, but I really have I know that I'm here to channel more. I just probably need to make more space for it. What would you say to someone like me that is kind of like really on this cusp and maybe, I don't know, like to bring forth more of the information or just, what was motivating for you to get to make this space?
Well, what I would ask you is it something that you get excited about of wanting to do that?
Yes, there is excitement there for sure.
Okay. Because that's the most important thing is like, if you have some kind of excitement or passion for it, then it's up to you then to make the time, the space to be able to practice. And it's like working a muscle. It's like going to the gym.
I was gonna say it feels like the gym though, like both things I do love, but yeah. But it does need its space. It does need its space, and there's like a muscle. It needs to be worked out. It needs to be strengthened.
And what's interesting, the more that you sit and you take the time and you do practice, the easier it comes through. It's just, again, you're just like, and the more you trust. And that is the key to all of this is the trust factor.
Yeah.
Because you're like, when I start, I'm like, am I just making this up?
Yeah.
And even like when I understood that I was Arcturian Uluru, I'm
like,
am I just making this up?
Yeah.
Even that, yes.
And I would,
And so I'm like, okay, I'm proclaiming I'm Arcturian Uluru. What does that mean? And so I got my validation about it. And I don't know if I shared this on the last show or not. Some of you may have heard this story, but it's crazy. Like you can't make
well, do share.
So again, I realized in 2022 that was me. And then November of 2024, then I was on a podcast and one of the co-hosts, she fully recognized me. And she remembers her full life as a Lyran during the time of the Orion Wars. And in the middle of the podcast, she didn't know anything about me, but she's like, "You're Arcturian." She's like, "I know you. You're Arcturian." I said, "Yeah." She's like, "You're a healer." Yeah. She said, "I wrote about you in my book." And
Oh,
and so then she sends me her book after we get off the show, and I'm reading, and I thought it was going to be really generic, like just some Arcturian healer, but it was very specific, master healer, Arcturian Uluru, and like what my part in her book was all about, like what my role in the Orion Wars was. And it was like, oh, like, I mean, I had the full head to toe chills and
that's exciting.
because like it's amazing, it's very empowering when you know who you are yourself, but
Yeah,
then
yeah,
someone else sees you,
yeah.
that energy. And what's fascinating about this too is that those of us here, all of us, what you're watching the replay, we all do have a parallel reality, at least one, in that time period of the Orion Wars, which is part of why we're back here on Earth.
Yeah.
To integrate the polarity once again, because that is what happened with the Orion Wars, is that the polarity did get integrated into wholeness. And we're here just doing the process again, or, you know, some people are finishing up karma from that. We can also declare karma's done. And just like we get to declare whatever our reality is. And so it's just fascinating. And the characteristics that I had in that life are the same kind of characteristics bleeding through into this earth life as Lisa. And I think for a lot of people, that's happening.
Yeah.
And so, you know, whatever you're called to, like if it's healing or, you know, whatever it is, that there is an aspect of you that is bleeding through, that you are meant to follow that, just like you, Lyanca, with, yes, follow through with the mediumship, with the channel.
Because you wouldn't be asking the question if you weren't supposed to be guided to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. I do consider myself a very skilled channel and medium, but there are times that I
For you.
What did you say?
For myself, I said I do too.
Oh, yeah, because I'll just be spewing out stuff. She goes, "Oh, she's
We'll just
channeling."
talk about something, and all of a sudden you'll see that her eyes are going direct, and she just becomes like this channel. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I got a channeled message. Thanks so much, universe.
It does help. But at the same time, I do have those times where I'm like, am I making this up? Most of the time it's already full on coming through. I've already said the piece, so can't, but there are times where I'm sitting with myself and I'm writing stuff out, and there are just stuff that I couldn't even come up with. But even still, I'll be like, am I making this up? Like, what is this word? Right? Like, it's just mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
And then, so I'll put little signposts in that say like when you see it, you're gonna laugh, and so I write it down, and then months later I'll see this this particular word that I've never even seen before, and then how it's used, what it is, how it pertains to even the galactic, and I'm like, oh, you're right, I will laugh. Like, it makes me smile and laugh, because just like your experience where where you were seen, it's a place where I feel seen. And I think that if we were able to open ourselves up to more of these things and just allow, right?
Yes.
Just be like, I'm open to it, even as ridiculous as that may be, then it will start to show itself more to ourselves in safe ways as well.
Yeah. And like for me, it was all about, okay, so I'm here. I already knew, like, I'm here to change that fear-based narrative that I talked about
Yes.
at the beginning. And so there was a question of like the discernment and who and what you channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And so for me, like, it was because I'm not here to spread fear messages. And some of the channels out there they spread the fear, they focus on that polarization, and great, but that's not where my attention is here.
Right.
And so why I really wanted to take that class was really to learn how to know what's coming through, whether I know who it is or not, but at least it's a higher frequency where it's not going to be anything that keeps us in division and separation here on Earth, because we already have too much of that. And so really, it is about raising our frequency within so that we can connect with these higher dimensional realms. They can lower their frequency where we meet somewhere in the middle, and that's where the communication happens. And so sometimes it's important to know like who it is or which group it is that we're channeling. Other times they give just generic names like the council or, whoever it is. But as long as it's from a higher dimensional source, then it's all going to be beneficial for this human reality that we're here to actually live. Now, there was one night, though, I do want to say this because I think it's really important, is there was one night where I had had a couple glasses of wine and I'm sitting outside with my daughter and my husband at the time. And I had a couple glasses and I felt this energy want to start channeling through me, and I let it through. And it was not a great message. And my daughter, it totally freaked her out. Now she's 19 and a half. So this was probably when she was maybe 16. And she was like, never do that again.
Wow.
And so what I will say is if you are going to try to channel and really be in that place, be as clear as you can. Like don't have any substances that are
Yes,
that are
agreed.
going to lower your vibration. I know
Yeah.
the thing about wine and other alcohol is that it lowers our veil, so
Yeah.
things can come through easier. And that can be a tool, like that's one of the tools that we used in the Ramtha school, was to lower the veil, to reveal and heal, all the things that were ready to come up to the surface, to be looked at, to be like, oh, okay, I can heal that. But otherwise, like, it's not a good place to be channeling.
Yeah.
And one of the other things is that for me, what my groups told me 4.5 years ago, before I ever started channeling, was that I needed personally to stay completely out of the politics, the news, the media, anything polarized, so that I could fully be a clear vessel for that information to come
Oh,
through.
I got it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
And with the last call, it was almost like dive deeper and see where your triggers are to clear them. But you can see how there might be seasons where you would
Oh, I
need
like that.
to avoid the news and detox from the technology and detox from maybe any substances that you've been doing. And then maybe there's another season where you fall into the triggers and clear out the triggers and do it more systematically that way. I love that.
Tiffany said she stopped drinking because she could feel it was lowering her vibration. Yeah, I think you really have to lean in into what it feels good, what feels good for you, what doesn't. I mean, really use your own discernment there as well.
Absolutely. And what we're talking about is like, okay, channeling these higher dimensional realms. And so in the last call, that's about like going deep to heal.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a difference.
Different.
Yep.
There is a difference. And so
I'm glad that you're saying that.
Avoid any of that. I'm just, are you like, which aspect of yourself are you here to be in this moment?
Yeah.
So for me, letting go of, I used to be very political. I used to be an activist. Like I had major polarized ideas about what's right and wrong. And so that's why for me, they were like, okay, yeah, that's not your role anymore. It used to be your role, but that's not your role anymore.
Interesting.
And so, other people are here to, okay, that's what they signed up for. That is their role.
Yeah. It's really about following your energy in each moment every single day.
Yeah, and Christina says she does like, she's like, I like seasons in life. Like, it's, preparing, you have the time of detox, you have a time for, being a clean vessel. And then you had a time where being the activist was supporting you. Do you feel now that you can play a bigger role in this way?
I do.
Yeah.
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 Well, and so what, like, when I stepped fully into my authentic self, because I had to hide myself, or I felt like I had to hide myself most of my life. So I just turned 53.
Yeah.
And I moved here to Hawaii 5 years ago. And it was 5 years ago when I was like, okay, I can let go of all the masks and trying to be normal and fit in, because I had 3 careers prior to this that were very mainstream, very 3D reality, where I had to be taken seriously. And so when I moved here, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter anymore. I can actually like play in this energy of like, who am I here to be? Oh, I'm a galactic ambassador. What does that mean? Oh, I'm going to channel these guys. I'm going to be like this teacher in a very different way than I ever thought.
Yeah.
And so with that, I needed to change myself and the way that I was living so that I could be of a higher frequency, so I could truly understand like all of the hard things that I have gone through in my life, that I've been the rising phoenix continuously, like understanding like, oh, okay, those were lessons that I chose before I came in. And why I did that was so that I could let go of my judgment, because I could know how someone could get stuck in an abusive relationship, because I was in one. And then I'm like, oh, this is how you get stuck in one. The stories we tell, oh, this is how I, had financial growth and then bankruptcy, back in 2008. And then I rise again, and going through 2 divorces and losing my husband to suicide. And so like all the things, I'm like, oh, and I can see it in a more neutral way, and more like, oh, just as an observer now, and thank all those people in my life that at the time it was not comfortable at all. It was like I felt like a victim, there were certain things, but now I can be like, thank you. Thank you for your role. And knowing that, okay, well, I was a victim, but I'm probably someone else's tyrant in this life, right? Just like the last call, we're all of it. We are all of it. And so the more that we can really understand that and integrate that, then we are able to be in this higher frequency vibration and be this upliftment for ourselves, for our communities, our families, and for Earth, for the awakening, for the shift into the higher frequencies.
I love it. I feel like it's just this beautiful place of coming together. And I think you're right, integration is the right word.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about maybe doing a baby activation. Do you think we could try that now?
I would love to. And so, okay, so what I would invite everyone to do is to go ahead and close your eyes and just get as comfortable into the surface beneath you as you can, allowing yourself to take this little journey with me, knowing that you are safe and all is well. Taking a nice deep breath in and holding at the top, and exhaling fully out your mouth, relaxing into your body, becoming heavier and heavier. Another deep breath in, holding at the top, and exhaling fully. Above your head, as clearly as you can, I want you to see a beautiful white sparkling light energy. This beautiful white light energy, it's coming down like a waterfall and washing over your body, from your head down to your feet, moving into the center of the earth. And as this white light energy is washing over your body, any tension that you're holding on to is being dissolved into this white light energy to be flushed into the center of the earth. And now seeing the top of your head open up and seeing and feeling this white light energy pouring down into the top of your head, moving down through your body like a river and down and out through the bottom of your feet into the center of the earth. And from this place of running this white light energy, I want you to see yourself hovering above Earth, beautiful Mother Gaia. And as you're seeing this beautiful Earth that we all are a part of in this Earth reality, this human experience, I want you to see that Earth just spinning and seeing all the continents, all the countries, all of the experiences, the 8 billion different human experiences that one can have on this earth. And now, wherever you are in the world, I want you to take yourself down to the place where you live. And I want you to think about something or someone that you judge their experience, their understanding, their knowing. Perhaps it's a political view. It might be a religious view. It might be the experience of they have wealth and I don't, or they have perfect health and I don't. Whatever you're judging, I want you to just choose one of those experiences. And I want you to feel yourself entering that other person, that body, that experience, where you now have the ability to see out of their eyes. You understand everything that they know because you are a part of it. And so whatever that is, just you have the ability to scan their timeline, how they grew up, how they came to understand this reality, why they have these beliefs, why they have these actions, and just experience that. Just observe it without judgment, just becoming aware of these perceptions, understanding that this was simply an experience that they chose to have in this life. And I want you from those eyes to now see yourself in your human reality. So you're looking out of these eyes, looking at yourself and understanding how they might judge you, how they might perceive you. But you know what your experiences are. And so now you can see it from both perspectives. And now pulling yourself out of that body. And once again, seeing Earth from a higher perspective. And I want you now to put yourself into the body of someone on the African continent, any country in Africa. Just choose one experience that's different than something that you experience now. And again, you're able to take yourself into this body, this reality, feeling it, seeing it. What kind of life are they living? What kind of experience are they having? And you may understand it from a different perspective in this way. Perhaps it's someone with immense wealth or immense poverty. Could be perfect health or illness. Just whatever that experience is, just feel it and see it and understand it. And now taking yourself out of that body and now putting yourself into the body of someone in Asia, any country in Asia, just to experience this other reality. And understanding that all of these perspectives, all of these realities exist. And it's just simply a different way of experiencing this human vessel, this physical expression, but it is not who we really are. It is simply a costume and avatar. We are infinite beings having infinite experiences. And now pulling yourself out of that life and now seeing the earth and allowing yourself to go out into the solar system, going out into the galaxy, pulling yourself out further into the universe where you can see multiple galaxies, understanding how truly infinite you are, and understanding that there is no good or bad or right or wrong from this higher perspective. It's all from one source. It's all love. And now bringing yourself back into this earth human body that you are expressing right now in this physical form, and allowing yourselves to open your eyes when you're ready, grounding back into this physical body, knowing how beautiful this expression of you is.
Yeah, we'd love for some of you to express maybe what you experienced. For me, I experienced a lot of compassion, especially for the person that was like in my immediate realm. I viewed myself from my husband's viewpoint. It was very interesting. And, you know, yeah. And then the someone on the African continent, and then coming home felt I was like, I'm so happy. Like,
Right. I did that too.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting that we can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like this little girl on this African planet playing, like, watching the little boys play soccer.
How
I was
fun.
like, what the heck? I was like, and she was happy though.
No, I love
With
it.
kind of this happy little girl energy, but, went from, judging, extreme wealth than that. And it was just kind of, and then I came back and I was like, interesting.
Yeah, Lisa, Mia says, wow, Lisa, that was powerful. I think I met my Nigerian spirit guide.
Right.
That's beautiful too.
Yeah.
Renee says, wow, that made me cry. Such beauty and deep love. Thank you.
Wow.
With a pretty little heart.
That was beautiful. Gosh, you guys.
Yeah. Just amazing. Like, and we have this available to us. It's 2:22, by the way, on my world.
In here central.
Yes. And let me see what the chat says. Wow. So Tani says that she used to dream a lot about her parallel and previous lives, and now she doesn't dream anymore. Any thoughts for her about why?
She may just not remember the dreams. She's still dreaming, and
Yeah.
we all, whether you realize it or not, we're all doing work in these other realms. So when the body is resting and rejuvenating itself, we're off in these other realms. And even the dream world is real. It's just other realities that
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And so even if we feel like we're making it up, and I know you guys probably get this with your clients, like I do, they're like, oh, I'm just making it up. I'm just like, it's my imagination. And we can't make up anything that doesn't exist. Everything exists. It's all real, even if you think it's not.
Yes.
Yes.
The more that you understand that, and the more that you have control over where those thoughts are, especially in our earth life, then, and this is part of what I teach in, like, shifting to higher timelines and creating the life that you want, whether it's perfect health or the relationship or it's wealth, or, because this is the crazy rich,
Rich free.
rich free. Yes. And so when we understand how much we can really create, and it's really, I mean, it's law of attraction, it's holding your focus to what it is with everything else falling aside. It's having those emotions as if it already exists. That's where you're shifting to these other realities, because you have to hold yourself in that frequency to be in it. It's all frequency specific. Now, one thing that I will say, that I had to experience personally at a very hard earth human level, but I understand it from the higher perspective, is sometimes when we are shifting to these other timelines of things that we want to achieve, whether it's the wealth, the health, or whatever, or being in our soul's mission here on earth, we have to be willing to let go of people, places, things, times, and events. Some people, even our family, even our dearest friends, our spouses, partners, kids, some of them, when we are in these higher frequency vibrations, they're not ready to be there yet, and they will fall away in whatever way they need to. And some of us are like, I gotta hold on tight. And it has to be this person, it has to be this experience, this thing. And that can be really challenging for our ego, for this personality that we come here to be. And so, for me, when I lost my husband, September of 2023, I understood what was happening. Number one, that didn't make it my human was sad, grieving, and all that. But I was I asked my team, really, guys, did it have to be that extreme? And the message that I did get back very clearly was, yes, it did, for me to be fully on my soul's mission of this, able to be a galactic ambassador and channeler and all the things and share these messages of the higher vibration. He could not be in my energy as himself, as his personality in my life. So whether it was going to be death or separation of the relationship or something, and what he's come through from the other side, because the physical costume, it perishes, but the energy, the soul, the essence does not die at all. We are truly infinite, right? What he's come through from the other side was his physical reality. He could not support me in the way that he needed, what I needed to be here on earth to do my mission. But he's supporting me from the other side and in a much bigger way. And his human mind could not wrap around the idea of the spiritual connection with the ETs. He was all about, he believed in UFOs, and he had seen one, but he was all about government disclosure and the science and the really 3D nitty-gritty reality. Okay, that's someone else's job. That's not my job. And he would be, oh, stay in this lane. And I'm like, I'm not here to stay in this lane. So whatever that expression is for you guys watching, listening, it's it was a hard thing to go through. Yes, my human thing, but he's still here. I have that connection always. And I'm here to do great things here on earth, to be one of the people, just like some of you are here to be these lights, to shine, because we're all here on earth. We're all part of this kind of summit for a reason. We're coming together to uplift humanity. And really that starts with doing the inner work on ourselves so that we can clear out those denser kind of emotions, those feelings, those judgments that are really they're of ourself. And then of that, then we can just have this full compassion, empathy, and love for others, no matter what their beliefs, no matter what actions.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you made note for us to really let go in that let go of the time, the people, because there's so much that we want to hold on to here, including money. I mean, I feel like, there's so much that people are not an allowance to follow their desires because they want to hold on to money or they want to hold, just bringing it back to the whole
Yeah.
crazy rich free vibe.
And to make y'all aware of the time, we do
Yes.
have to
Move on to your special offer right now.
I was like, we're still in linear time. And we promised our people that we would wrap.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring up your special offer. If you'll take them through it, that'd be fabulous.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Okay, so I have got two major things that I'm offering for our people here. So back in 2023, I did do the 13 different sessions. Actually, it was 14 sessions because the intro session is meeting 13 different guides all at once, galactics. And then there were 13 additional sessions of meeting each galactic individually and walking through meeting your own specific who that is for you, what interpretation you have, receiving those messages. And then they each have beautiful channeled messages that they are offering. And so the example of what I just did with Earth, that was actually from the Orion session, because the Orions are all about integrating that polarity. And that's really what their wisdom is integrating that polarity. So you get the 14 sessions.
Wow, this is huge.
And then you also, as a bonus with that, so I did 4 sessions of awakening to your multidimensional self, a journey of multidimensional awakening. And really what that is shifting to your highest timeline potential. So there are 4 different sessions. One of them is really looking within and clearing away those judgments, the fears, anything that's really holding you back in this life. And then once we've cleared that, then understanding that the love comes from within always. It's not external, it's from within. And then there's an experience of meeting at least one of your higher dimensional guides, whoever that is. It might be the angelic realm, it might be some other realm. And then really then creating your highest timeline potential. So that all is bundled together for that. And then I have a separate offer where I am doing one-on-one sessions. They're an hour long, and it's to meet your galactic family guides or an aspect of yourself, whatever you're ready.
Very cool. Fun.
And that's where you're able to really, I know like people like having readings done for them, being told who they are, what they are. Personally, I love experiences where I'm experiencing it myself directly. And that's why the kind of hypnosis regression sessions that we all do, when I've had my own sessions, that's when it actually integrates more in reality.
Yes, absolutely.
It being, just external, and you're being like, oh, you're telling me I'm Pleiadian. Oh, okay. What does that mean? But when you get to experience it for yourself, then it becomes more integrated and it elevates who you are as a human. And really that's what it's about. It's not being, we are these other dimensional beings, but we're here to be human, and it makes us better humans without good or bad judgment.
Yeah. If you guys look over at the screen, I wanted to just show you, if you are ever looking for the to-pay, this is where you find it.
So you just have to click and then it drops down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, what a cool program.
I know.
So guys, there's 2 offers here, and one is 14 video activations and immersions. Again, like I said in the last show, I mean, this is the cream of the crop, right?
I mean,
and these are the best, activations change. It's fabulous. Or you can get a one-on-one session, or both. You could get the program, do it for a little while, really get into these activations, and then
come for your session. I like that.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Super yummy.
Hand in hand. They totally go hand in hand, because sometimes when you're in those guided sessions that I don't have control over knowing how deep you are, just like you guys, right? With the hypnosis, it's better one-on-one to know like how deep that person is, to know, oh, do we need to take you a little bit deeper, so that information. So that's, I do love the one-on-one sessions.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Well, thank you.
Any parting words for us today?
Oh, just remember how infinite you truly are. You are all of it. And the more, again, that you can just clear away whatever these human emotions, these traumas that you make up stories about and carry them forward, the more you're clearing, then the better, the easier it is to manifest the reality that you actually want.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about that little guy back there behind you, that little alien?
Yes, so I have a trio of them. This one is Zanaya. I also have Elza and Evie, and this is just one of my Zeta friends. I know a lot of people have some judgment about Zetas, and
I don't even know about them.
I don't either. I'm in the Kappa Theta sorority. Sorry,
different Zeta.
I'm a Theta.
Oh, different. I got it.
Yeah, but the Zetas, they're one of the like really important groups that are interacting with Earth humans.
Fun.
Fabulous.
What's up, Zeta?
He looks like he just might raise his hand and say hello.
I know.
That would be really creepy if he did, though.
This one over here is.
Oh, he does wave.
We see you. We're amongst good peeps.
We're benevolent.
I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you so much. What an amazing call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, just a couple of announcements. I'll say y'all. Is that more politically correct, everybody? Tomorrow we have another great lineup. And, again, you can find all of this information on howhustle.com/live. That is the dashboard, and it has everything. It has everywhere you can go and get the VIP pass, where you get all of this information sent directly to your inbox, and it will be available for all lifetime. And then we also have what we're calling a summit enhancer, and you should probably have found that right from that initial email that you got. But if you can't, it is also featured on our dashboard. So it's just $8. It's 8 hours of hertz frequencies. And basically what it does is it runs in the background. It helps to, remember we talked about lowering that, she called it a veil, but it's, it lowers that subconscious block that we have for us not to be able to receive some of this information. So if you have it playing in the background, then while you're listening to the summit, some of this information can be received a little more openly without your blocks starting to come up and be like, I don't think so, I'm not sure. Or it just allows it to be integrated a little bit more freely, right? So that you're able to just kind of breathe it in. We know that healing sound heals. And so all of the information together with that sound frequency in the background, it's just $8 because we definitely
want you to have it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be much more expensive, and we worked with a sound engineer to get it. So it's important that we that we honor that. But again, it's $8, so it's basically for us that with the collection of the sound engineer, free, right? Like, so that's a gift because we couldn't make it free, but we did make it available at just $8, and it's for 8 hours. And again, you can have it on while you're cooking. You can have it on while you're sleeping. I put it on still to this day if I'm feeling very anxious.
I read with it.
Yeah, and you receive more information that way, you said. So that's available. And we also have clearing the chakras program too. So that just takes us a little bit. Oh, okay. Just takes us a little bit deeper. And if you're looking for that, it's /chakras, right?
Howhustle.com.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
/chakras.
Yes. So it's howhustle.com.
I'll put it in the newsletter at some point.
/chakras, and she'll put it into the newsletter this week as well. And so what that does is it takes a little bit deeper, and it's only $27, and it has
it opens all your chakras. It's a very and we've really worked with frequency work. If you haven't already notice that. So we really know what we're doing here. I would like to say that.
Absolutely. And so again, it opens up the chakras while you're listening to some of these amazing speakers and listening to them on replay as well. So just wanted to give you that heads up. Tomorrow, who do we have?
We also have our VIP pass where you can get all of our 5
That's
seasons.
what I was saying. Yep.
Yes. So, and it's on discount this week only.
Normally,
and as well as Mystique will be on discount this week only.
Awesome.
And then it will go up.
Yeah,
and it
right.
will not come back down for the next season.
Tomorrow morning, we get kicked off with Kenji Kumara, which will be really exciting. Kenji, oh,
my daughter loves Kenji.
Yes, he's just got such a great energy. He's been doing this for so long. He really brings this healing. I mean, he just hearing him speak, and you are transformed. And so he's really brought a lot of experience to even speaking with people on these summit more healing that's around.
And we're gonna how to. I didn't really right. I thought, well, if I desire it, it's my soul's preference, right? And he's like, no, exactly.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. That'll change things. And then we have Susan Penno,
which was blew us away.
You better bring your questions, people.
Wow. Get ready to raise your hands for both of them, actually.
Yeah.
But especially Susan, because she is rapid fire and she will read your soul.
You and your, yes.
Yeah.
She was the one that told me
accurate.
that I was a psychic medium in the past. And I thought that was very accurate.
And she was reading messages for me.
Oh, yeah, which we kind of already knew.
Yeah, but it's nice having the validation from somebody who knows us from nobody.
Yeah, she didn't know us at all and was already straight up like calling us. And we're like, whoa, this is wild.
I was like, what kind of early pre-conversation do you have with her?
And I was like, no, she doesn't know us. And she hadn't really watched the show because she's in a different country. And so, yeah, super incredible. So we had to have her on the summit. And then one of our favorites.
My favorite, my dragon buddy.
Yeah.
Adam Apollo, who just, I just keep feeling like I play in the dragon world with him. So
absolutely. He's just, he's phenomenal. He reaches people worldwide. Just did something recently with
Shift.
Thank you. The Shift Network. Huge. It was so big. And then he's going to be talking about lifetimes within you, remembering your past lives and infinite self. Many people have told me, because I do Dolores Cannon's work, that he is they like her work and have found Adam Apollo, and they were like, oh my God, you totally should dive into his work. There's a lot of similarities there, but it takes it further. And I thought, wow, I'm excited about hearing that, because Dolores is no longer with us. And so she's a big continuation of that information. Yeah.
Well, Adam remembers a lot of past lives, and he even remembers being birthed from a dragon egg, which was pretty cool. I have his book, The Dragon Key. Make sure we also put that around his picture with his special offer. But he is every single time we can go wherever we want to go with most of these people. But with him, we will go way out, and then he will take us way further. And I love conversations like that. It's like, yes, teach me, take me, stretch me.
Let's go, right? Yeah. I also want to remind you that a portion of the proceeds goes to support different causes that are women and children related. Right now, we're supporting riseandup.org, and they are an organization that is taking in monies, donations to give gift cards to teachers that have supplies that may be needed. Also supporting the kids with book fair, and they take in laptops and tablets to be refurbished by other children and given out to kids and people in need. So it's really grown. We're super excited about supporting the organization as well. And anything else that you have that we want to share?
No. If you ever need anything, you can always email us at team@houthustle.com. If you stumbled upon this information and maybe just ended up on the live page and you're not opted in, please just go to houthustle.com/summit to get in all the feed. And if you want text message reminders, we do have that available as well. And I will keep making sure I put that in the newsletter
Yeah,
if you're
that's
looking for
right.
it.
So be sure to look out for that to get signed up, because I know for me,
Yeah,
I don't
makes it
always.
handy.
Yeah. And so when I see it on my thing, I'm like, oh, here's the little link and I can just go there. Here's
Yeah.
that thing I signed up for. So it just makes it super convenient. You guys, you are the very best of all of this. I mean, you really are the community. You make up the community. You make up the vibe here, and it's been amazing. There's no, it's, you know, it's no judgment, lots of love. Invite your peeps. This is how we change the world. Share it if you're on YouTube. I mean, really, this is how we get to bring more people into the vibe of into having
the hout.
Yeah, you know,
The
just
hout
changing,
vibe.
right? The hout vibe. The really redefinition of what it even means to
Yeah.
be hout
The
in today's
spirit.
world, right?
Yeah.
So it's exciting, and we just love, love, love you so much. Thank you. And we're hustle reminding you to take a little time to enjoy the woo.
Bye,
Bye
everyone. See you
bye.
tomorrow.